Miss T, you should hear sound now. That was just like the little introduction of this picture to let you know that President Trump, I need my 2 tanks. Okay. You had the tanks out there during the inauguration when we went, and I felt protected, just like I took this boss picture right here. This picture right here, picture, that picture right here got so many people pissed off because how they try to make the inauguration and Trump and all that like he a cornball, he corny, like he ain't got no swag, like he wasn't that nigga in the 80s. He wasn't that playboyish boy, right? So they made it seem like nah. So we went and had a time. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. And this picture right there was taken in January 2025 Trump inauguration. Okay. That's queen vibes. Okay, that's king princess vibe. I'm a king and I'm a princess. I'm both. That's what I identify as. A king princess. Okay, that's what I identify as. Take it how you want to take it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a lady. Okay. But when shit get real, sometimes you gotta get on your Nino Brown and do what needs to be done. Yeah, no. So that's it. But anyway, this picture was taken by his rap. And it started to rain. Danny, Molly, Patrice, shout out to Patrice. Patrice is independent. She the accountant. She's a good tax lady. Like, you need taxes, Patrice is the person. And also Patrice probably will help you get yourself organized. So that's, if it wasn't for Patrice, Tax Credit Academy, lending us her space for a few months to get everything going, we wouldn't really have Chicago Fifth Red. So we always give props when props is due. That's why it's always all hands on deck. And it's going to forever be all hands on deck, because this movement is a movement of all, a movement of we, the people, what the U.S. Constitution says. Okay. And what all of our ancestors fought for. And I said all of our ancestors. We're having these wars about who was in slavery first, who enslaved us first, who's this, who's that, who's that. Baby, I'm born 1986, okay? 1986. My mother was an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, okay? A serial entrepreneur. And she was from this city, the city of Chicago, the city of the heart, the city of, you got to be a strong motherfucker to come from this city, okay? So that's my mother, okay? And she moved to New York, okay? And I'm a New York person, all right? So at the end of the day, I saw politics in New York, okay? I come from Albany, New York. I stayed out of time. I was born in Guilderland, New York. That is a suburb, right? But nobody doesn't want to say I was born in Guilderland, New York. So born in Albany. At the end of the day, I'm an Albany kid. But I was born in Guilderland. From there, my mother lived on Pearl Street, downtown, all that stuff. She had some properties, all that type of stuff, Then she moved we lived everywhere. We lived in Colony, we lived in North Colony, we lived in Latham, we lived in Waterville. So I went to Latham Ridge, I went to Blue Creek, I went to Shaker Junior High, I went to Shaker High School. There's one girl, shout out to Latoya Franklin. She was like the only black girl in the suburbs, and me too, that played AAU. My godfather, like a mentor to me, who like really took me under his wing, Greg Mora. He was my dentist too. He was my coach. He was my AAU coach. He was my regular coach from fifth and sixth grade. He also was my dentist. Okay, he also helped my mom when it came to certain things, like because he saw the potential in me. He saw that my mother was a business mother, a businesswoman. She was a single mother, and she was trying to provide. So at the end of the day, I see all sides of things. And I think that is what really irritates me, because I didn't have to deal with the violent struggle. You understand? Like I was very defiant as a child, and I probably was defiant as a child because I did not have my father was not in the house. So I was inquisitive. I did things. You understand? But my mother never would let the government system, take me, right? So she would do things like put me into something like Four Winds, a behavior center. You understand? With other kids and their kids, and mine, there's not really many black kids in there. It's a lot of white kids, and they're in there for addictions at an early age. Okay, so in the suburbs, they was taking pills. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, we killing each other. You know what I'm saying? It's both. It's just fucked up. Me, I just was bad. Like, you know, I said I was bad. My mother had behavior issues. Whatever. Either way, I was a mischievous person, and I'm gonna tell you why. My vice is stealing. Okay, that's how I know this man stole so much money. Okay, that's why this got me intrigued with this shit, because I done went to jail for stealing. Okay, because ain't nowhere in the world. Yeah, I'm going to jail. If I went to jail for stealing, yeah, I'm going to go to jail for stealing. But anyway, I've been stealing since I was a child. Okay, and the reason why I probably kept stealing is there was this co-op in Albany, New York, right? And the co-op had like some toys. And I went and picked up a toy and walked out with the toy. And when I walked out with the toy, I was in the back seat, and my mom turned around. She saw the toy. She said, "Where did you get that toy from?" And I said, "The store." And she said, "You don't do that. You didn't pay for that. You didn't pay for that. You don't take anything that you don't pay for. Take it back." So she let me walk in, right? And I walked in, but I never gave up. Why would I tell myself? No, I went and put it back on the shelf. But if my mother would have took me in there and embarrassed me at that young age, because my brain is still developing, I would have never probably stolen again. That's why you cannot teach these things, these sexual things in these schools. What the fuck? Their brains are fucking developing, you idiots. Anyway, because of that, and I got away with it, I kept stealing. Okay? It became adventurous. Okay, I was stealing out of faculty, you know, in the faculty rooms in the suburb, like in a suburb class. I mean, in the school, I was in 5th and 6th grade going into the faculty class, stealing. They had some change, their dollar stuff. If he was buying like candy bars and stuff, I was stealing candy bars and change. I did not care. Like, I was just so cold with it. Like, just cold. I'm not bragging. Like, I'm not saying like go out there and do. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just giving you this background to tell you exactly, just like that was my vice. That was my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get saved, people sold drugs, people did this, and people did that. That was my thing, right? So anyway, That's why, I gotta, y'all gotta pay. Y'all have to pay me my money. Y'all have to pay me my money because these motherfuckers I owe right now from stealing from their ass. Okay, and they probably love me right now, and they know that, and I give a fuck because they could have fucking put me in jail, but they did not. So I need my money so I can pay these people. Okay, but anyway, so to say that my mother never let me get to jail until I got myself there. My mother did everything that she could do to keep me inside keep me in a behavior place, a behavior center, all those type of things. So to say is that when I finally did get in trouble and had to deal with the law, my mother left me in there. Okay, I was musty for like 3 months. She didn't send me no commissary, no nothing. She was pissed off. Like, bitch, I put you in all these motherfucking behavior centers, and did this. I made sure you motherfucking government didn't come and take your ass, and your ass still get locked up. Stay your musty ass up in that motherfucker. So and she did, right? Because she was just that. My mother said, I don't do jail. I won't do jail. Like, that was her thing, and she had to stand on that. Now, when I got out, and I got this lawsuit, okay, because in one of the behavior places, there was a counselor that liked me, and we started. We started like messing around. I'm underage. She's older. She's 28. And when she sent me stuff, she would send me all this stuff, like, at the time, WNBA, like, it just started. I like basketball, stuff. So she would send me all this stuff, but she sent me this letter. And in the letter, she says, I can't believe I'm in love with a child. That's what she said. And finally, I guess when she realized that she was a predator, she decided that she didn't want to be this anymore. People get saved. Sometimes get saved. She got saved from not wanting to be a predator anymore, right? So anyway, so she didn't want to deal with me no more, whatever. But I was in therapy. Oh, my mother always kept me in therapy as well. So the therapist, I told the therapist, I was heartbroken. I was like, oh my God, I lost my love of my life. And I explained it to the therapist, like, yeah, she's my counselor, all this stuff. Mind you, the therapist is writing this down because she's like, oh my God, I have to report this. So by law, she has to report it, regardless of if it's confidentiality or not. You have to report things like that. So that's why it's very important to get a therapist if you can get a therapist. And we need therapists. Therapists matter. Anyway, she decided she had already reported these people. So that happened when I was like 15. Now, I get locked up like 2 years later. So when my mother was going through all my paper, or going through my room and stuff, she found all the letters and stuff. And she went to the therapist and she was like, did you know about this? And the therapist said, yes, I already reported it. So when she went and called the place, they had said they already terminated. She didn't go to jail. Already terminated. And how I know she didn't went to jail is because she a principal right now at a school in Florida. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, if we gotta keep that same energy all around. We gotta keep that same energy all around. They let her go. Okay, so they let her go, and she's a woman. They probably didn't know how to. Oh well, it was a girl coming on a girl. They didn't get all that crazy stuff. Anyway. So anyway, after that, my mother ended up suing. We ended up getting a lawsuit. I moved to DC. And I said, so in my circle, I was the only one who had like an apartment, all that stuff, but I was on this probation. And my probation officer was so racist that when I enrolled in college in Georgetown for this class, she stopped me from going there and basically put a warrant out for my arrest and all this stuff, right? So I ended up getting paid lawyer, and they got me out of it or whatever because it was dumb, it was meaningless or whatever. And then the paid lawyer, she used to be a judge in my hometown, so now she's a lawyer, so she know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna do what she gotta do to get me out of this, whatever. I'm living in DC, whatever, all that stuff. So that's why I know about DC so much. I moved to DC when I was 18. So I lived on Rhode Island Avenue. I was only one of my little group that had my car. I had a dope ass car at that time. All this. I just got all this money, right? So, me trying to get myself together, probation, she couldn't stand me. I mean, my mother said they would come looking with all these guns drawn up, all this stuff. And mind you, I only did credit card fraud. So you got all these guns and everything, intimidating my mother like I done murdered 50 fucking people. Bitch, it's a fucking credit card. I stole somebody's credit card who left their door open in the suburbs. Like, what are we really doing here? Anyway, I'm 17. I did it also, so my record is sealed. That's one thing I love about New York. My record is sealed, so you can't. So I went from probation. They graduated me to parole, right? So they put me in jail for a forged instrument. The forged instrument was a fake ID. I got locked up in December. My birthday's in January. Any other person would have threw the ID away. These niggas took me in and gave me a felony, right? Because just mess up my record. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all want. You can't find no jobs. You can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Got no choice but to keep scamming or selling drugs or doing whatever, or keep going to jail or whatever, because you just put anything on anybody, right? So now they gave me a felony. felony, and I was already on probation. So now I'm looking at a 1 to 3. 1 year to 3 years in prison. Prison for a fake ID, okay? And I had to go to Bedford, okay? So I went to Bedford. Bedford is the highest quality max center of all the prisons, right? All the prisons, like you got people that was on Pamela Smart. If y'all know about Pamela Smart on Lifetime, what she did, I was in there with her. I was in there with Sante Kines. I'm in there with like murderers. I'm in there with there's a hell of a Latino women that was in there because they was in there for killing their babies. They were just coming over here to get the citizenship. Like, I know, like, I was in there with all these people. I got in there with some bad bitches in there holding drugs for they guy, lost their nursing life, lost their whole license, their nursing license, okay? Whatever, because just all this stuff. I'm in there with all these type of people for a fake ID, man, a fake ID. So, me saying all this stuff to tell you guys is that I done been to prison, I done been on parole. My mother I had to legit leave Albany, New York, and move to New York City to get off parole because they were going to continue to keep me on parole in Albany, New York, because that's just what they do. Okay, so I had to go there. Right, so I went there. I was still doing I still was doing some messed up little things there, all that stuff. However, because it's real life crimes out there, and I'm 19, 20, they're like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to that, like, I'm gonna tell you how much they like. I was locked up in Dallas, right? My mother moved. My mother wanted to be closer to my sister. My sister moved to Dallas, Cedar Hill, Texas, something like that. We there. My mother's trying to get my parole transfer there. They just not letting my parole transfer there, but my mother went there anyway, and I went with my mom. I can't stand Cedar Hill. I can't stand Dallas. Anyway, but I was living in Dallas for a minute, but I was missing my friends, all this stuff. Anyway, I ended up getting locked up for a parole violation in Dallas. And when I got locked up, they came to extradite me back there. And I didn't want to. At that time, I finished my parole here. Like, I don't want to go back to Albany, right? So they had a plane come. I remember saying to them, I'm not getting on the flight. I'm not going. So they ended up taking me back. So then, like 3 days later, they came back and said, well, will you take a train there? And I took a train from Dallas. They gave me a sleeper car. That's when the white girl, USDA, I keep that white girl because the white lady who came to get me, that was her ringtone. Like, but anyway, so I'm like, okay, cocaine, head. Anyway, so I take a train back from Dallas to Albany or Rensselaer, New York. That's how bad they just want to keep people locked up, y'all. Like, real talk. All of this, again, for a fake ID. A fake ID. That's how racist these cops was and wanting to continue to keep Black people down or the record or anybody that's, I guess, just, I don't know, poor, Black, brown, all that, just because they do it to whites too. So at the end of the day, it's an issue. They've been doing this for a long time with the help of these democratic cities, because all this these democratic cities that we got these crazy ass records. We can't get no jobs, no nothing in these where they're fighting for the working class. They're fighting for prison reform, but we got the highest in all prison everything. Like, can we really be? Come on. Anyway, so after I get off all that stuff, I remember my mom saying, "You're not gonna be able to get a job, you understand? But you've always been funny, and you need to go to Second City, and I'll support you with stand-up." So I started doing stand-up. Okay, so I'm going down to New York, all those type of things. Great. Back, right? And that's when I started doing stand-up. I was tired of bringing all these people in, only getting 5 minutes. I'm bringing a bringer show in of 30 people, and they give me 5 minutes. I'm like, I can do my own show. So I started doing my own show. Shout out to Steph from DC. Started doing our shows at this place on U Street called The Box. We had a crowd, we had to pack all those times, but they weren't coming out to really listen to comedy. We was young, we was mingling. I was bringing out all the, like I said, I have a lot of gorgeous friends in my life. I got a lot of great people in my life. I've always been entertaining, so I've always used to bring out a crowd. So, but they wasn't there. They wasn't ready for comedy at that time. They was coming to see what girls I had there because I always keep the women. You understand? So that was mainly it. You understand? Like, if I did a love dating mixer, man, it would be packed because people know that I have a great eye for beauty and people and beauty and people. And beauty doesn't find women and beautiful hearts. You understand? Like, so it doesn't matter. You understand? Attractiveness is a beautiful heart. So, so I'm doing all that, and then I move here for Second City. My mother tells me to move here. She gets me into Second City. I made niche that year. My year anniversary is coming up. At that time, I'm doing a comedy show in New York. I'm doing a comedy show in DC, and I'm doing a comedy show in Chicago. Chicago was the hardest because, just like with this politics stuff, Chicago comics did not want to mess with me except niche, because niche was just getting on. But nobody didn't really want to touch my shows like that because I wasn't from Chicago and and all that stuff. People didn't really fuck with me until I went and got D. Gregory. Make that very clear. So it was really on some substance stuff. That's why with this whole situation, with what I'm doing now, and the fact that no comedians have really stood with me with this is hilarious, because when I brought Dick Gregory here, I put a lot of comedians on. Okay, when I brought Paul Mooney here, I never told nobody no. So when it came to opening up for these people, because at the end of the day, I like funniness. I like if I think that you funny, if I think you got it, whatever, stuff like that, I'm going to put you on. So yeah. But anyway, I brought D. Gregory, did great here, always did great in Chicago. He brought out all the people. I met so many OGs, even Shawnee O'Neal's father. Shout out to Mr. Lee Nelson. He used to always see me, give me a hug, say how proud I am. Like I had Herman Roberts, rest in peace. He came out. I mean, the only person that couldn't come was Jesse Jackson. D. Gregory said on everything Jesse Jackson could never come. Now Jonathan Jackson, bitch ass, came to a show, but but he knew his father could never come to a show. So I will make that very clear. D. Gregory never fucked with Jesse Jackson. So after all of that happens, whatever, Mr. Gregory passed away in 2017. I'm trying to get these Dick Gregory panels together. And this is what I should have known when shit was some bullshit. The first panel I was going to put together was Dick Gregory Taught Me panel. In dedication of him was Killer Mike, David Banner, Angela Rye, Maxine Waters, Felicia Buttercupfield, whatever, right? So Mike said no problem. Hell yeah, I'm interested. Like he was very interested in doing it. Banner Peoples, yeah, no problem. Anzarai Peoples said yeah too. Felicia people said yeah. Only people Maxine Waters was taking a long time. They wasn't getting back to that guy. So finally, Angela, when they found out that David Banner was going to be on there, she decided that she didn't want to do it anymore. Felicia basically didn't want to do it, I guess, so she wasn't going to do it. And David Banner and Mike still was going to do it, but the three women ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what the fuck? Like this shit's just dumb. So from there, instead, shout out to TJ. TJ gave the money for me to put on this comedy show called Rent Due. And that was with Darren Fleet, Niche, Zane P. She was the host of it. Blame It on Quay, La, the Rent Due, Toya Turner, all of these people. And then I put this girl on She's, fuck She's, but I put this girl She's on as well. She asked that she be on the show. It sold out. It was at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. Then after I did that one, I did. You can look this up on Google. I mean, on Chicago Tribune. DG Taught Me. It was a comedy series, and I brought Just Hilarious here. Now. Shorty, who owned Harold Washington, Dorothy Tillman's daughter, she's really the main reason that got me in this financial hole on the entertainment side, because she lied to me and told me that the Harold Washington Cultural Center held 1,000 people, and I told her I was going to sell 1,000 seats, and she that place only holds 800 seats. So I had to give back a lot of money. When I say Just Hilarious sold that out, and what Just Hilarious price was at that time, I know it's tripled. So I was up, and I was about to do some more shows, but I had to give back a lot of that money because I have a company. I don't want it to have a bad review on that. I have to give good customer service. So that situation, as far as that, it's really, that's why, like, when I seen that shit with Shannon Sharp and shit, I'm like, man, you really some shit, but your mama is too. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I talked to Shay. That's Mike's wife. She helped me put on a show, but with that, we lost because the artist, she was too much, and I should have said no, but I wanted to do it because I still felt like trying to keep it up, trying to keep the image up. At the end of the day, we lost. It's all right. I will get it back with another show, whatever. But it's good to have on the resume, And then next thing you know, when that person asks, I'm gonna say, no, you charged me crazy amount. So this is what you owe me another show, man. I lost. So if you want to do another show, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? I lost. So because you were too much and you didn't sell the tickets like you should have been selling the tickets if you're going to ask for that much. You understand? So my thing is, if you asking for a crazy ass price, and then you think somebody else is going to continue to work with you when you're not selling out tickets like that, then you just pure greedy. And that's just what it is. And that's the problem in our community. We should always look out after each other, but we don't. So anyway, because of that, and I felt so bad and stuff like that, I asked Shayna that, hey, look, I'll come work for you. I'll take a price. I'll work for you for free so I can pay off what I owe you, all that type of stuff, stuff like that. So, and long story short, she brought me in. Shout out to Shayna. I love you regardless of everything. You're my baby. And she introduced me to Atlanta. And Atlanta, I loved Atlanta. Atlanta is the blueprint, I feel, to all cities. And you can make it work. You can make Black Chicago work with white Chicago, with Hispanic Chicago, whatever. It's happened before, but just like Atlanta has Black people, but it also I've been to all they have all cultures there. Even everybody it's like equal. You understand? But nobody's stepping on anybody's toes that I saw when I was there. So it was it's just too small. There's too many people there. Their traffic is ridiculous, and they need another type of train system or something like. They need some. And they probably don't do it because they want to keep it country, but they need a transit system that make sense because it's too many cars there. Like it's too many fucking cars. Everybody got a car because everything is just all over the place. It's just wide, long. But at the end of the day, as long as you got a playlist, you good. But I didn't mind driving. I never mind driving there because at the end of the day, I like music, all that stuff. So, So this happens or whatever. I'm down there and I'm working with Mike and Shay, and Mike has a barbershop called Swag Shop, and he just was really about branding and had so many great ideas and stuff like that. And I understood what he wanted, and so I basically ended up helping both of them. I was helping him and helping Shay and and just trying to be successful because I got my mom in Chicago that is going off about this building. And my mother started talking about this building in 2017. The city of Chicago demolished my godfather's building, the Sandpiper Lounge. My godfather is Leroy Singleton. Leroy Singleton and his brothers bought this building in the 1960s. Before this building, it was the Pink Panther, and before that building, it was the Fannie Mae Candy Factory. So it really was a landmark because it was originally a Fannie Mae's candy factory. My godfather Leroy and his brothers migrated from Jackson, Mississippi to Chicago. They ended up getting that property and turning it into the Sandpiper's Lounge. The building was paid off. They had a deed, and everything. It should still be standing right here. It should still be a lounge because they were forced out of business. They went and snatched their liquor license up out of there. So they forced the black business out of business because they wanted the rest of his lots for TIF money. They had promised that to somebody, and since they've been stealing black people's wealth, black people's properties and buildings for so long, and it's just a thing that they do here, that Black Chicago, and but I don't know about everybody else, but Black Chicago has normalized this like it's okay. And that was crazy. Now, I never was into what was going on because my thing was at that time, Mr. Gregory was still alive, so I was traveling with him. Also, we was good, you know. So I was paying our rent, taking care of my mom, anything she needed. So I was good. Like I didn't, you know. What I'm saying? My mom like, man, it's all right, man. I got you, mom. I don't gotta worry about that. And she like, Zoe, they can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do this. Like we just paid $90,000 in taxes. They're trying to take it with taxes first. You know, now I put it in a nonprofit. Now they knocked the whole building down. They can't do this. And I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still like, you ain't got to worry about this. So anyway, I moved to Atlanta. I asked my mother to move, but she didn't want to because she here. So what she decided to do was she was living in the Carters. Many Ripperton projects. They put in a senior that was supposed to be senior house, senior thing. It's really crack house. It's really the Carters, really from New Jack City. My mother went there. My mother I've never lived like that. She said she lived like that, you know, like when she was projects growing up when she was young, you know, younger. My mother born in 1949. She a boomer. So we ain't never lived like that. So that was a suburban kid. So we ain't never lived like that. Right? But my mother refused to leave this city because she was like, these people, I put $800,000 in that building. They gonna pay me my money. You understand? And I'm still like, yeah, but I'm like, Mom, but you just saying just Chicago messed up, all that. But long story short, I came here for All-Star Weekend. Chicago's during COVID, right? It was getting here, but people wasn't really catching on like that. But COVID, it was already in New York, you know, it was heading there, whatever. People was talking about it, but not to the point that it got the way that it got. So we here in Chicago. I'm here with Mike Swag Shop. That's why I meet Charles Barkley, a couple of plays, all that stuff. Dope, right? My mom we're Catholic. My mother went to mass that Sunday, the Sunday of the game, the game. And a lady who's supposed to have been banned from this place called and said that there was a dead body in my mother's apartment. Now my mother's already been going back and forth with the CHA's lawyer, Sanel, because they done stole my mom's porch furniture that she had for the building because she was like, well, if I want to sit outside, at least want to have a porch thing. So she bought some porch furniture. They done stole that. They done stole her original birth certificate. They done stole all the jewelry that Emma Mitch, my mother, used to go see Emma Mitch a lot when Emma Mitch's mother was alive. So she made my mother all this jewelry. They stole the jewelry that Emma Mitch's mama made her. Okay, they just stole everything, right? So anyway, the last straw was the lady called the police and said it was a dead body in there. The police came and kicked the door down off the hinges, right? And when my mother came home, the door was still off the hinges, man. The door was still off the hinges. My mother calls me. Mind you, I'm in Chicago just so I'm living in Atlanta at this time. But I'm just here for All-Star. She calls and tells me that. I'm like, what? So then the next day I'm supposed to leave. Mind you, I just started this job with Mike and Shay, right? My mother's like, I gotta go to the hospital. So my head hurts. They still haven't put the hinges on. They still haven't put the door on. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so at that time, what's the name was in that Alderman Pat Dow was the alderman at that time. And I reached out to Pat Dow, and Pat Dow did reach back. She said, "What are you doing?" But by that time, I didn't respond back to her because my mother had this piece of shit lawyer who was selling us out on the city side with the buildings, but he was still fighting for this. So what they did was they offered my mother a Section 8 voucher, right? And they told if she dropped all her charges, all stuff like this, because she was about to take them to court. And they said, if you drop all your charges, stuff like that, we'll give you a housing choice voucher. So they gave her the housing choice voucher, right? But blackballed her all at the same time, messed up her credit, right? All this stuff. So anyway, COVID hits. They moved her from there. I told them, I said, look, I said, y'all got 24 hours to get my mother about this building. I said, I'll sue this bitch. And they moved her from that building to a building in Bronzeville that was a much better building, but still a building. Mama D lived in that building. I can't think of the building called. But anyway, they gave her a room, gave her an apartment, but she couldn't get no cable. So she in there all through COVID, because they done locked all y'all up for COVID, right? She in there with no cable. She in there talking crazy, calling me every day. And I'm like, look, Mom, I'm like, you want to just come to Atlanta. Like, I don't know what you just come to Atlanta. And I'm like, I'm moving into because I was staying with Mike and Shay at that time. So I'm moving into my own place. I said, you got your own room, got your own bathroom, you piece of mind, got your own TV. And I'm not flying. I can't fly. I won't fly right now. They said we can't fly. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, cool. So my friend Fat, shout out to Fat, I flew there and she drove us back. And she drove us back with my stuff, right? Because I was moving in my stuff. She drove us back. My mother stayed with me for 2-3 months. My mother was about to lose her mind because they had everybody in there. And I was like, Mom, you took that COVID shot. When I took the first one, I was like, why would you take the COVID shot when you told us we don't need to take the COVID shot? Like, I thought you said we got to eat healthy and all that stuff. Like, I'm telling her that, like, come on, man. So, but they were scaring the elders. They were basically saying, like, if y'all don't take it, y'all gonna die. And they was, let's say, fuck Dr. Fauci. This nigga was a serial grandparent killer, serial killer. Okay, this nigga, y'all let Biden y'all let Biden pardon a serial killer. Y'all worry about Trump. That's crazy. And everybody, you get a ventilator dead. You get a ventilator dead. You get a ventilator. Everybody get on the ventilator. We saw the ventilator coming because as soon as you get a ventilator, you die. I mean, like at this point, what are we doing? Anyway, so because nobody didn't know what was going to happen, all this stuff, my mother happened to find a condo downtown, 600 North Lake Shore, and they took the voucher, right? Because nobody didn't know. And everything was good down there until I have a dog. My dog is Charlie. Okay, Charlie is a little Yorkie. You want to see Charlie? Okay, Charlie named after my pop. It's a girl. I got her when she was 4 weeks old. Okay, now my mom wanted to get some exercise and be able to walk the dog, and so she asked, could she take care of Charlie? And I said, yeah, because Charlie was with a friend's mom at that time, because I didn't bring Charlie with me to Atlanta because I didn't know how anybody would feel with, pet. I'm living with somebody, all that stuff by that time. So anyway, we got the dog to my mom. They basically did not want my mother to have the dog. They were threatening her about getting evicted because of the dog. They sent her the condo association sent her this letter, right, and threatening the owners with a fine. I'm like, how are you gonna threaten you with a fine when you can go to your therapist and get a doctor's note for you having for you having it? Like, nah, you can't. And it's an ordinance in Chicago. Like, what? That makes no sense. So I respond back and say, I will sue y'all. I will sue y'all because what you're doing is like, this is not how this works, right? So anyway, they took that away, right? So then, like I said, the condo associations and stuff, they crazy too, because if you look at the condo association, bylaws in there. It says these bylaws do not override the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, we know. We know. I know for sure. I should share every condo association. What the fuck do you think this is? Like, I pay taxes. I paid for this. Not for y'all to tell me what I can do and what I can't do. Abolish. Y'all supposed to make sure that the building is trimmed. Make sure that we can presents for all the workers in there. Making sure that we have the best holiday parties. I think, what the fuck is y'all like? What do y'all think this is? So anyway, they start between CHA and 600 North Lakeshore. They start blackballing my mother because I was going downtown. That's what. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me back up. All right. So anyway, the dog, all that stuff. All right. So in 2023, January 2023. My mom, December 2022, my mom called me and she was talking about how they appealed the decision, but she said, but I never put an appeal in and they still denied it. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, yeah, they're saying that the statute of limitations, they're saying that Leroy didn't own the building, that's why I lost the case. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is crazy. And I remember before that, when my mother campaigned for Lori Lightfoot, my mother answered phones for Lori Lightfoot. I paid 3 times to go to like banquets and stuff, tickets for my mom, because Lori Lightfoot campaigned that anybody that had a case with the city that she was set, and my mother had a case with the city. So she just knew that she was going to settle that case. It never happened. So fuck Lori Lightfoot, big suit. But anyway, so fast forward. So anyway, December, she gets that decision. I'm like, what the fuck? But even though I already knew her lawyer had sold her out, sold my mother. I already knew. They promised him money to settle, to do whatever with this case. Promised him more work, all that stuff. So he sold my mother out. January comes, and a couple days before my birthday, my sister calls me and she says, my mother was doing substitute teaching, it's an alternative school. And my sister called me and she said, Zoe, mommy had a stroke. And I said, what are you talking about? And she's like, mommy had a stroke. And I'm like, where? Like, where are we talking about? She's like, at school. She was like, they rushed her to Rush Hospital now. That was a couple of days before my birthday. So I was living in Atlanta, working on I have a brand called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. So people go on uncomfortabletruthLifestyle.com, you'll see the type of stuff that I have. So that's what I was working on, because I was trying to break cancel culture in the comedy world, because niggas can't talk in the comedy world. I'm like, how does comedy get sensitive? Like, well, this is crazy. Lenny Bruce would never, man. Like, this is crazy. So anyway, I'm like, Richard Pryor, come on, man. Like, come on. So you need comedy. So I was trying to break that. But anyway, this happened. When I find that out, whatever, I call Al. Al is my mom's business partner. He an Indian. He the cheapest nigga on earth. Nigga. Al is so cheap, but came in when it was time for Al to come in. I called Al and I told Al what was going on. I said, I need a lawyer. I said, my mother has been fighting this case. The city to knock down her family. What's it called? All right, time to ban you, because here you go with that racist shit. All right, have a good one. So anyway, they end up, so telling Al, breaking down to Al what happened. I'm like, I need a lawyer. And then I called Leroy. I said, Leroy, break down this situation with this building. What happened? What happened? So he's breaking it down. He's telling me what happened, the locks, all this stuff. He like, your mama got all the paperwork. Your mama got all the paperwork. And I'm like, and he like, baby, you just Chicago, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, all right. So I flew to the city. I flew to Chicago. When I flew to Chicago, I went and got all. My mother keeps everything. I went and got all the bags. It was hella trash bags. What I did was I flew back to after my mother got out of ICU and she was good. My aunt came. Shout out to Aunt Viola, my Aunt Rosie, my mother's only sister. She was calling she lived in Texas. My older sister came. I have an older sister who's 20 years older than me on my mom's side. She came, my niece, all that stuff, right? So, because we don't know what's going on. So I flew to, once my mother got out of ICU, I flew to Atlanta. And I flew back to Atlanta, and I had dinner with this lady named Alicia Garza. Alicia Garza is one of the founders of Black Lives Matter. Alicia Garza is a friend, to me. It was, I don't know. But anyway, Alicia read all the paperwork, and she said, your mother has a good case, but you're going to have to put it in lawsuit format because they're going to call her a crazy old lady. Bet. So, I was like, she said what she told me was, once you get in a lawsuit format, I will make sure that I'll get you some press. You understand? Because she know all these people. I've been around Anza Ryan. I've been around Joy Reid. I've been out these people. I'm like, cool, say all about the black this, black one, all that stuff. Rolling my arms, just y'all, Charmaine, all the people. Anyway, we do that. Now, at that time, I had got into this coding thing because I wanted something to fall back on if this Uncomfortable Truth lifestyle didn't work. So I got this scholarship to do this at this place called Center of Refugee or some stuff like that. Anyway, that was a hoax. Anyway, and that's a whole nother thing. And they kicked me out of there. That's a lawsuit too. I just ain't got no Georgia lawyer. I got a couple of lawsuits in Georgia I need an attorney for. Anyway, they kicked me out of there because I started seeing the whole NGO grifting thing. I really didn't care about coding for real, just getting that money from the city, And they knew I was too smart. But I was also dealing with making sure that this lawsuit was put together right. Okay, because they weren't really understanding. It's hard. It's like hard to wrap your mind around a whole city knocking down your building and then not wanting to help you when you got all the evidence. And so it's just weird. Just people just like they can't wrap their mind around it. It's like, yeah, this is Chicago's most corrupt city on the planet. That's what they do. So when they finally put in the lawsuit format, I let her know, I let Alicia know all that stuff wasn't getting no help. Right? No hearing no media, nothing. So what I decided to do was to read to see if I could protest outside of City Hall. Like, is it legal to do that? Will I get locked up? Anything, stuff like that. So I went to ACLU website. When I went to ACLU website, I saw Dick Gregory's lawsuit against the city for when he protested with the teachers they walked from, we call it the snake pit, which is City Hall, to the snake's house, which was Mayor Daley Sr. at the time. He got arrested for a peaceful protest or whatever, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, bet. That was my sign. Let me go. So I protested outside for 17 weeks. I protested outside. I had my papers because I was walking billboard for my brand. So I had my papers and piece shirt on, papers and piece hat on. I didn't care about none of that stuff. So a lot of people were like, well, you're probably not getting press or anything like that because you have that on. And I'm like, man, I don't care about none of that. Like if they ready to do a story, I'm ready. So then I talked to Dorothy Tucker. Dorothy Tucker told me she's gonna take my story. And I'm like, woo, she's gonna take my story. She comes to the house with her racist, liberal, young producer. And We got the voicemail, everything from the city when it comes to the city of Chicago knocking down our building and what the city of Chicago gave, whatever. She does not. They say, well, we'll FOIA. We'll check it out. We'll see. What the fuck you mean you'll check it out and see? I got all the evidence. I'm showing you. I'm giving you. Just listen to the voicemail. All this stuff. So she didn't do this door. So I'm still protesting outside. Now, protesting outside, and I when I'm protesting outside, Miss Jessica, Mr. Blakemore, they pushed me to go inside and talk on the mic. I didn't even know you could talk on the mic and start talking on the mic. The city of Chicago unlawfully demolished my family's building in 2017. Okay, we have a permit. The permit is from the demolition permit is from the city of Chicago. The city of Chicago has the owner as the city of Chicago, knowing damn well that they don't own that building. When the electrician called my mom and told my mom that the city of Chicago knocked down the building, my mother went and got a police report down the street from the building, that was demolished. The regular police officer did not want to give her it took a white shirt and it took a white man to give her this police report. The black guy would not give her the police report. I just want you to understand where I'm going with this. Okay, it took this white man, white shirt, to give my mother the police report because he knew that at the end of the day, y'all keep saying that y'all knocking down people's buildings on police powers when the police have nothing to do with this. So they knock the building down. My mother gets a police report. October 2017 is Christopher Columbus weekend, get the one day off. A lady by the name of Ann, they say she still works there, sent my mother a voicemail. And the voicemail, I still have the voicemail, we keep the voicemail. And the voicemail says, I see that you're calling for some demolished property, and there are 3 ways that you can get basically compensated. Your alderman, who was David Moore at the time, and still, should go to committee on finance, and they'll offer you a little bit of money. Second offer is you can go to Cook County, go to the Daily Center and file a lawsuit. The third is you can go to federal court and file it. And she says, but I'm pretty sure that when you're running a type of establishment like this, you've got a lawyer, right? Because my mother you knocked down a building that was in a nonprofit, Notre Dame Affordable Housing. My mother had a nonprofit, right? So you would think that. Well, every time my mother put the claim in, right? No, yeah, that was the third one. File a claim with the that's what it is. File a claim. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get this. I want y'all to hear it. Since I got 824 people watching, I want y'all to hear it. Because you know how they be lying. Hold on. All right.
through on over the long weekend. In any event, there are three things you can do if you want money for demolished property. If we're just talking about a little bit of money, the Alderman's Committee on Finance, and I'm surprised your alderman didn't mention that to you. It is. And it's happened rather recently. Call Anya Delgado. Her direct line is 312-744-5650. She will send out the paperwork for you to apply to the claims division, which is like an insurance division within the city, which will consider the matter. 744 or 312-744-5650, and it's Anya Delgado, but that's her line, so either she'll pick it up or somebody who's doing the same thing that she's doing while she's out to lunch or something. The third route is to file a lawsuit. You can do this pro se, in which case go on down to the to the county building or the Daily Center up on the 6th floor or the 8th floor, depending on how much money you're interested in, and file a lawsuit. Better yet, your attorney, because if you're running this kind of an operation, you've probably got an attorney, and that attorney can tell you what your prospects are. Anyway, that's the information. Committee on Finance, calling Anya Delgado, or filing a lawsuit, and you do that by going to the Daily Center and asking them how to proceed. There are people there that would help you.
Right. So that is so we kept it. My mother kept it. Like I said, my mother keeps everything. So my mother went down and filed the claim. And when she filed the claim, there's a man by the name of Dennis Raphael, who basically took a long time for him to get back, whatever, because they were trying to figure out how they was going to get up out of this. And so what they decided to say was that my mother filed the claim over the year expiration of her being able to file the claim for them knocking down the building. The claim, the demolition permit has 2017, December 2017, December 11, 2017. My mother's claim paper say December 11, 2017 because the demolition paper says 2017 that the city knocked down, right? They telling my mother that she did not file the claim in time. Now, my mother came in October 2017. December 11, 2017 is 2 months later. So she came in and got it. If you want to say the 1 year, with a 1 year statute of limitations, she had 2 months left to file the claim, and she did. She filed in October. Your demolition paper from your city, from your governor, from your buildings department says December 11, 2017. My mother filed her claim October 2017. That's 2 months. You still did not pay my mother. And guess how much my mother was asking for at that time? $100,000. $100,000. Because my mother just wanted to get up out of the cartel, the Carters that y'all put her in. Even though my mother invested $800,000 there, she just wanted some type of money so she can go back to living her normal life that she raised her children in. Okay. My mother was a college graduate. My mother went to St. Elizabeth from grammar school to grammar school, junior high, high school. Then she went to St. Joseph's University. The same people who own Hugo Fish Bar, they were in her class. Okay, damn, another one too over there, the Gibsons. Okay, all right. So y'all played with an educated woman in her hometown, and my mother wasn't going because she knows that at the end of the day, you cannot do this. I don't care what you're talking about. So my mother made the sacrifice to fight this, and when she couldn't fight anymore, she went to the hospital. So then they forgot. They didn't know that she had a daughter that used to be a savage. Okay, and I had to come out of my savage mode to fight this devilish ass city who got my mother messed up. Right? Cool. Bet. So then my mother finds a lawyer. Lawyer is a sellout. He sells us out. Whatever. Like, ends up opening up his own firm right now. He ended up they gave him so much money for us to lose the case. He left the previous firm and went and opened up a new firm. Okay, right. So now we refiled the case, right? So we got the lawsuit in. My mother put it in New York, but they brought it back here because they said that it's happening here. But my mother tried to put it in New York because it's federal. At this point, it's federal. You violate the 5th and the 14th Amendment. It's a federal court case. It can be anywhere, okay? My mother wanted to do it in New York because I'm tired of fighting these niggas in Chicago that just keep doing whatever to not just pay. So they brought it back. Al went and got the most incompetent, dumbest attorneys on earth, okay? Because they don't even understand what they got, or they were about to get paid off from the city again, because it's what they do. Bradley Wilson is the same lawyer that continued to be on all my mother's cases. Bradley Wilson also worked for the Attorney General in New York, okay, as a lawyer. So you worked for the Attorney General in New York, and now you're here in the most corrupt city fighting us against all the corruption, all the fraud you're doing, but you work for the Attorney General, what they're supposed to do. Fight corruption and stuff. So this is who we have. Bradley Wilson. You look it up, his LinkedIn says all this too. All right, cool. Bet. Let me show you Bradley Wilson. Let me see if I got a picture of Bradley. I see Bradley. Let's see. Let's see. Did a lot. Oh, there's my man. There's my man Bradley. Here's my man Bradley. And this is Bradley Wilson. And Bradley Wilson works for the city of Chicago's law department. And he is my lawyer on my First Amendment case that I'm suing because they kept, violating my rights. So he's on that one. He's on my mother's 2 cases over here with the city. They keep putting him on here. Now, mind you, we're paying a whole bunch of attorneys now. The city of Chicago loaded with attorneys, but this is the man that they keep having. This man right here. Okay, him right here. He's my lawyer on everything. This is my homie right here at this point, Bradley Wilson. So Bradley Wilson has decided to continue to hold up my case. Bradley Wilson also is paying whoever's paying Bradley Wilson to continue to keep this shit in court is this man right here. Okay, this Democrat. Okay, this Democrat right here. So anyway, now you got a federal court. And I'm like, okay, I got to get some media because I thought I was going to get some media from Black Lives Matter people because I thought that's what they do. But clearly that's not what happens. So when I remember asking her, I was like, look, man, I'm thinking about protesting outside. And she's like, oh, you're going to need 100 people. I'm like, if I need 100 people and your Black Lives Matter, why won't you make sure I got 100 people outside? Because I'm your friend. I'm your homie. You said I got a case. You see the bullshit. Why I got to bring 100 people? Like, why can't you bring 100 people? Like, what the fuck you, Black Lives Matter? Charles, I thought this would happen. The black lives don't matter. Like, when it comes to property, like, I'm confused. So anyway, once I seen that was a hoax, and that was some bullshit, I had to go back to thinking about Mr. Gregory talking about all these protesters paid, baby. And I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Got me, because I had to pay. I guess I had to pay her. I guess I had to pay for 100 people to come out and stand next to me. Like, what? No. So I'm like, nah, I'll go ahead and myself. Like, it's my mother. You know what I'm saying? I listen to my music. I listen to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talk about eminent domain all the time. So yeah, Nipsey Hussle was talking about eminent domain. So yeah, like, I got this. I'm fine. I'll listen to good music. I have my battery charged up. I have everything I need. Okay. And that's what I did. So yeah, so basically that's what I did. Tell my Uncle Barry I love him, man. Tell my OG Barry I love him. Appreciate you. And thank you, fanfare. Thank you, family. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you. So yeah, so I'm down there protesting. So Miss Jessica and Miss Blakemore got me inside. I started talking on the mic. So I started talking on the mic, and after, now mind you, Brandon Johnson, he would duck me every time, right? To the point that they would have Secret Service and people come to me after what time I was going for lunch because they were bringing him in every other door but City Hall door. Like, this the mayor that just came in. You're supposed to be you for the black people. You always talking about black people. You're always talking about disinvestments in property. You're always talking about affordable housing. You're always talking about that white supremacy and all this stuff. But you are ignoring a black person, a human being, a Chicago citizen. You just became the mayor of Chicago. You would think that you want that on your resume. Like, man, what's going on here? Let me take care of this. Da, da, da. No, you chose illegals and then other doors because you was too Hollywood to come talk to somebody. Bet, cool, great, whatever. So his security started, like, I think, being like, damn, like, this nigga pitiful. And so, like, they felt so bad that they got to take this man in every other door. Like, the weakness you could see, like, they were like, damn, like, what, you know what I'm saying? But this is their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to one of us Secret Service person. He kept talking like, keep fighting. Because he's like, what the fuck? Like, you ain't going to come talk? Like, you're not going to come talk to her, right? Like, no. So, like, at the end of the day, I started going inside. So when I started going inside, city council meetings with nobody there, right? Just us, Ms. Blakemore, Ms. Jessica, Michael, wouldn't be that many people there. So we on the mic and I'm telling this man, like, what's going on? I'm talking to him nicely. I'm asking him nicely, could he settle the case? I'm using all types of words. African American. I come from an affluent African American family. Can you just I work with Dick Gregory. Like, come on, man. So once I was just this nigga ignoring me, I'm like, look, man. I was living in Georgia when they flipped Atlanta. Okay, when that state flipped blue, I was living there. Now, I wasn't into politics or anything like that. I just know that happened. They say the first time in history. I'm like, if you do not settle my family's case, I will flip this shit red. I will flip Chicago red. This is the worst customer service I ever had in my life. Like, how do you sit here and not settle a person's case while you're screaming affordable housing, while you're screaming disinvestments in our community, while you're screaming trauma, not treatment, not trauma, when you're traumatizing a whole family that's down there, two families that's down there trying to get justice from you, black man. From you, black man. Me and Miss Jessica. We don't even know each other. We done created a whole political party because what you think this is? Why would we ever let you continue this? No. So that's where my frustration came in. And I would go down there and I would consistently tell this man that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not knowing that we are going viral, right? So the first time we went viral, and I didn't know we went viral. The next day, I'm sorry, hold on. I gotta go on this. I gotta show these videos, man, because I think I need y'all to understand. I documented this whole thing. Okay, like this shit was wild. Like to really watch these people be useless. Like we literally these black Democrats are slaves, man. Like them leadership, any of these black people in leadership, they can't help you. They are on literally, they are puppets. They are on chains. Okay, like chains. You know where you call me anything y'all want to talk, but don't call me no Democrat. Okay, them the most the weakest niggas I ever met in my life. Why would I want to be? Why would I want to be considered a Democrat when you can't even help your own people? You can't help nobody. You can't help anybody except if you're illegal. If you're an illegal, you get more stuff. You get more stuff as an illegal than you get for being an American citizen and a taxpaying citizen that's paying for your salary, paying for your wife's salary, because you've given her a salary, paying for your kids' lifestyle. But you got somebody standing there that's coming down there consistently. Everybody's coming down there consistently asking for your help, and you're the mayor of Chicago. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Hey, I gotta go all the way down. Like this. I've done this in 2023, y'all. Like 2023, I've been down here. Me and Miss Jessica have been at this since 2023. And it's 2025, and our cases, my shit's still sitting over there. My shit's still sitting over there. Miss Jessica, they haven't figured out her stuff either. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Like that's none of y'all can fix this. Like none of these Democrats can fix this. Y'all keep saying that Donald Trump is a threat. Y'all a threat. Y'all won't settle a case that's got all the evidence on over there. All of the evidence. Right now, y'all y'all never deny that you knocked it down. Y'all arguing about statute of limitations, girl. It's fraud after all y'all did. Y'all committed so much fraud. It's a RICO. My case literally is a RICO. It's a RICO. Ain't no statute of limitation on a RICO. Like, it's RICO time. Like, y'all literally committed a RICO, and y'all will not settle my case. So you got me out here homeless. I'm literally unhoused, paying crazy money in storage because I don't want to lose my storage, paying crazy money for my mom's storage because y'all won't settle a case that you guys broke. Y'all, those your laws. When I got locked up, when anytime I did anything and I got caught or charges was pressed, I had to go eat that. And I did. I've been in solitary confinement, all that. That's why I didn't care about talking about y'all silencing me for a long time. And then people like, oh, yeah, I don't care. That was a solitary confinement, man. I was talking to myself in there. I was good. So yeah. So you wasn't gonna run me crazy. You weren't gonna run me crazy. Like I was gonna get hurt, whether or not, because the next thing was to camp outside of the White House. Okay, it was gonna camp outside of the White House, but I was determined that I was going to be heard. Because why would I continue to support, and I never supported this party, I never really cared about politics, but why would I continue to be okay with a party like this that is literally making money off of Black Trump? And white liberals are eating it up too because they're bums. You understand? Like they're bums. You know, and they get whatever they want because they're using their whiteness, because those slave owners over there, them slave owners over in the Democratic Party, and their dumb house niggers got it where only white people can get help. Really, you understand? When it comes to like anything that they need, just like they're doing with the illegals. But when it comes to Black people over there in that party, you can't get no help. Can't get no help at all. They take your properties, they lock you. They get you. If they can't kill you, then if they can't kill you, then they'll make you homeless. If they can't make you homeless, then they will make you a drug addict. If they can't make you a drug addict, then they will make sure you have a record for the rest of your life and you can't get no jobs. So then they can sit here and say they're working for a working class, but all these strikes against who? Majority of us, Black people. And y'all have normalized this. When at the end of the day, if we all held our dollar and our allies too, because they fucking all of America up right now, the whole America up right here, and people who like them, what can the government do? What literally could these welfare recipients of the Democratic Party really do? What could they do? Now I stand right here. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this one. Let's see. I gotta get a computer. My computer crashed. I'm on this up my thing too when I'm trying to show y'all stuff. Like I'm literally my Mac crashed. Like it was just a lot trying to deal with these people. Hold on. All right, that's what. Okay, now I think I got it. All right. Time to ban this user. All right. That was a weirdo. These niggas be weird. These niggas be undiagnosed. You're dealing with a whole bunch of undiagnosed niggas on the Democratic side. You got Ron Manuel shut down all of the medical things. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Oh, for crazy. All right. Let's see if it show.
Try not to curse, but y'all, man, like I've been researching Zodiac 29, and this is exactly what's going on. Only thing this time is the Hispanics versus the blacks, and we don't have that strong black leadership that we had with Harold Washington back then. So y'all are letting the Hispanics do whatever they want to do, keep saying we got to have dignity, but the blacks aren't doing enough in your leadership skills. So what's the point of being an alder person if y'all aren't going to be for the community? That makes no sense. Yes, it's starting to become a race war, but at the end of the day, I know who's going to win because we built this. Okay? This is unconstitutional. This is inhumane. And to come here and to continue to see more Hispanics and Latinos get jobs than blacks here is a disrespect. It's a punch in the face. You want us to continue to understand and see the problem, but y'all don't see the problem in the black culture. Black people are the influence. We wouldn't, y'all know, nobody would be here if it wasn't for us. Okay, this is a whole new generation. This social media, this now, like, you're not gonna allow this to happen. And we're not gonna allow this to happen because we're gonna force you to do the right thing. And if not, y'all getting out of here. I was in Georgia when they flipped that state blue for the first time. I will knock on every senior's door and make them hold their vote. This place will flip red. It'll be a historical moment because y'all not paying attention to them anyway. They're getting displaced. Y'all don't care, but y'all trying to find housing for Venezuelans, for Latinos, for all that. Y'all keep sending them over here when they need to go back. Y'all, one time have y'all sent ICE there. ICE need to come. There's prostitution that's behind all of these police districts. I live in Streeterville. It's prostitution right up the street. I mean, it's a disrespect. And y'all continue to allow this to happen. Like Mayor Johnson is the most hated. And he's going to continue to be hated. The only people that like him is teachers and some of y'all. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, my tax money is not going to continue to allow this. Y'all need to find our money. You need to put more things in our neighborhoods. Y'all aren't doing nothing. Small businesses, the only thing you're giving it to is Latinos. Nah, it's more than that. This is the most segregated city. And the United States is looking at us.
Ms. Lee, thank you very much for your comments. However, your time. Zoe Lee.
Right. So that was in 2023. It's before this. Well, I ain't got my Chicago since red on. Right. I was going to my little baby birthday was the day I thought we was gonna be doing movies in the park. I went and got some pajamas. Okay, let me see. I got these goddamn Jurassic Park pajamas on, and they canceled it or whatever. Yeah, so did this. But anyway, before Chicago flips red, all of that. What did y'all set up? This game, okay? And clearly my calling was bigger. I watched how useless the people was down there, man. I watched them. Finally, they had a man named Maurice Robinson come to me, right? Maurice Robinson was supposed to be his aide. Okay, we don't know. Maurice Robinson ain't shit either, but that's a whole nother day. We'll talk about that. This is Maurice Robinson. Let me show you what Maurice Robinson is. Hold on, y'all. Remember when they say that? Remember when they said that? What's his name? Jimmy Carter when it voted for Kamala Harris. Remember that? They said he was gonna go. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to go vote for her. Remember that? Jimmy Carter right there. That's how sick. That's how sick the Democratic Party was. They say this man could not wait to go cast his vote for Kamala Harris. All right, let me go back. It was wild. It was sick niggas, man. That niggas we got Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter been wanting to die. That nigga wanted to die when his wife died. I mean, y'all still got this nigga holding up. That nigga probably dead right there. And just keep getting his social security checks. Let's see. There's Maurice. All right. So Maurice Robinson was his senior aide. Now he done skipped out because he got that infrastructure money, and they trying to figure out how they gonna launder that infrastructure money or whatever. So now he's no longer there. They snuck him up out of it. They didn't let nobody know or anything like that. Anyway, so Maurice Robinson got in touch with me. He called me private, and he was like, he's going to look up to see why they knocked it down, all this stuff. So the next day he comes to me, he calls me, and he said, oh, it was building violations. I said, nigga, where the court order at? I mean, it was building, I said, where the court order at? If it was building violations, cool, where the court order at for them knocking down the building? Okay, I get it. Building violations, whatever. Even though Prairie Shores got full of roaches, bed bugs, they got rats. It's fucked up over there, and they got hella building violations, but they're still up. Ain't got no court order. They ain't got no bit. They didn't get a court order to demolish them. You understand? So what are you talking about? He gets angry because I say that. He hangs up the phone. Then he calls back, I don't know, 2 or 3 days later and tells me, why am I going this hard when my mother is trying to sell the property? I said, what are you talking about? Trying to sell the land. So what are you talking about? He said, yeah, he said there's it's for sale. I said, what's for sale? I said, man. So he gives me the girl's information, and the girl's name was Wilma Sargent, and she worked for Dior Realty. And I called her, and I said, man, who told you to put that land on sale? Huh? What are you talking about? I got a call from City Hall. You got a call from City Hall to tell you put that on. So she was like, well, your mother said that I said, my mother said what? I said, what email did they give you? So she gives me cmarsh@outlook.com. And they said that the lady said, my mother said that she was moving and she had a lot of property and land and she wanted to get rid of before she moves and da-da-da. That's what they said, right? So they had on MLS, they had on all this stuff. I said, girl, you got 24 hours to take this shit down, or I will make sure you don't have no license. You'll never be able to sell another piece of land here again. They took it down. Now, I'll put it up. Let me go down here. This girl. What? Y'all niggas just wow. I tell you, man. That's what I'm saying. So that's why these realtors mad. Like, I know y'all been stealing. Y'all been stealing from us, doing what y'all doing. Dior Realty. I heard y'all been scammers anyway. That real estate company anyway. I thought y'all got in trouble for some shit anyway. So, man, hold on. But see, I ain't have 944 people looking at me at that time. All right, so they ain't care. Didn't care. Who is this? We'll get by her. Ignore her. Okay. You can ignore me. Thank you for ignoring me. Thank you for ignoring me because you showed me how terrible and useless and weak the black men are who keep voting Democrat and are Democrats. You showed me that. They are the down low group. They are the down low. They are the home of the down low. They're the home of the bitch assness. They're the home of the weak. They're the home of the division. They're the home of the single mother. They're the home of, man, what? Never. Ever. You weak as hell if you a black man capping for the Democratic Party. You a weak man. They don't care about you. Never cared about you. Y'all slaves over there. All they care about you is y'all sexual slaves. And if you talk back, they kill you, boy. They kill you, boy. And y'all mad at Donald Trump for coming to protect our young men. Like my godson, who went to Corliss, who is now in the service because he was smart and he know that he didn't want to go to college, but he didn't want to stay here because your life expectancy for a young black male won't be to see your kids grow. He was a very smart boy. I love you, Malachi. Let's see. Ooh, I tell you, I got so much. I've been documenting this. I told me I know I got like a good documentary, man. I know I do. I couldn't get no help. I couldn't get no media, so I had to put this stuff out myself. Somebody gonna listen to me. I was like, I got a couple of people that rock with me. Got a couple of friends that are cool, love me for me. Y'all gotta see. Y'all gotta see how fucking the Democratic Party is. Like this shit. You got to be an absolute moron to keep voting for these motherfuckers. Like that's what I was. That was like my whole thought process with all of this. Like it wasn't no racism. It wasn't. It was like, nah, nigga, this black on black motherfucker right here. They don't want us to. They don't want us to get ahead at all. At all. I got to see what Republicans got going on over there. See, and if it's bad over there, then I guess I got to figure it out. I guess I got to go independent. I don't know, but right now, Republican Party, I feel like I'm being heard. I feel like I'm being listened to. I feel like I'm getting good customer service. So, hey, so sorry, y'all. Trying to find this picture when they arrested me down there the first time and put a handcuff on. I know people thought I was crazy, man. Everybody thought. Real talk. So sad. Man, I got everybody on here. Just Blakemore. Man, they really like was keeping me. They did not want me. They were trying to discourage me from coming back down there. And I just was like, what? Man. All right. So yeah, right here. Remove him for a minute. Ooh, hold on, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to. I gotta get a better computer. It will happen. All right. So we're dealing with.
They're not letting people into the council unless they have a white ticket. They have a VIP section for this budget meeting. And here is someone who is protesting, and she is being arrested for protesting the VIP section. There is a VIP section. You got to have a ticket. Nobody knew about it. And she is protesting it, and they are trying to arrest her. This is Brandon Johnson's administration at work. She is civilly protesting not being allowed into a public meeting. This is a public meeting, and she is not allowed, and she is protesting. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
All right. Now, shout out to Jackie Page, because Jackie recorded that. Shout out to Miss Jackie. I've never had an issue with Miss Jackie. I think they try to make us have an issue. Miss Jackie, I never had no issue with Miss Jackie, man. Miss Jackie, you need to understand that I'm a person I can talk to everybody. She got mad at me because I was out one of the days I was outside. They was not letting me go into one of the meetings, and Tamiko came out. I guess she got some beef with Tamiko, and so she took that shit out on me. She want me to curse her Tamiko out. Well, I'm cursing Tamiko out. You yelling at everybody else, but you're not yelling at Tamiko. What did Tamiko do? I'm yelling at the police and yelling at these sergeant at arms for not letting me into a meeting that I should be able to go to. Tamiko don't got shit to do with that, Miss Jackie. But she got mad at me because of that. But anyway, shout out Miss Jackie Page for that footage, because that is real. So then you dealing with, now that happened after I did this. Now, before I go into it, so this dude calls me back again, Maurice Robinson, and tells me, no, he doesn't call. So when I see him, he gives me all the building violation papers. I'm like, It really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have a court order. So then I'm like, this commercial. He was like, this was a mixed use commercial property. I said, yeah, my mother had 4 apartments upstairs that she was rehabbing where I could be living at. And the downstairs she was making, she was going to do like some type of like rehabilitation classes and learning STEM programs and stuff for veteran children, because my mother, this was a nonprofit for veterans. My mother's second cousin is Jesse Brown. Jesse Brown is Veteran Affairs. You know, the VA is named after, he was Secretary of Veteran Affairs for Bill Clinton. So my mother was, in memory of her, that was her favorite cousin. So anyway, he didn't realize, like, oh shit, I ain't know it was a commercial. Yes. But anyway, he gave me papers, nothing comes up. So then, but he says, why are you always getting on Brandon? Why don't you get on the person who did it? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what, you're right. You're right. Fair enough. Let me chill for a minute. Right? So, where are we at? Share the screen. So, when I first wrote this, it was a whole bunch of curse outs. Like, hold on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is for you, David Moore. You're going to know after this. If you are so committed to your alderman duties, such as protecting the neighborhoods in your ward at 3 a.m. from prostitutes, surely as an alderman, you can go after the money that is owed to my mother at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, normal business hours. 2017, when my mother's building was illegally demolished by the city of Chicago, you never notified her and gave her an option, and never gave her the option about the little money that Committee on Finance was supposed to take care of. And at that time, the chairman, who you already know, Ed Burke, and at the, you also told my godfather they knocked down the wrong building. But now you say it was building violations. The man who was living there didn't have a lease. The man you're referring to is the same man who has owned that building since 1965. He has no need, he needs no lease. He has the deed. How would you feel if someone demolished your mother's house, the house you've been living in for 57 years? At your big ass age, you still live with your moms. The FBI has already met with my mother. If your slow ass doesn't, if you're, no, you can't. If you don't find my mother's money, you're gonna be in the news again. Generational wealth that you got demolished. I am not the one. You're definitely not the one. I want to know, let me tell you something. You did everything wrong, and you've been doing stuff wrong. You're really autistic. I don't know how you even got this job, okay? I was minding my own business.
Excuse me. We respectfully ask that you please refrain from use of any profanity. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was minding my business, okay? I was living in Atlanta, living my good life. My mother has been fighting the city of Chicago for 5 years, okay? And she couldn't do it no more. She ended up in the hospital. I've been protesting in front of City Hall for 17 weeks, and I watched you walk past me each time. You didn't acknowledge me or anything, and this is in your ward. That's black on black crime. So I'm gonna figure out what I can do legally, but I'm trying to tell you, if you talk about how great you are and how good of a man you are, find my mother money. Find my mother money. I'm heading over to the federal building to amend this complaint, and your name is added, but I'm just letting you know, you don't have no paperwork. My mother got all hers.
When a real ass nigga, I feel it. Fuck can you?
So I did that, and the following week, in order for you to get to that city council meeting, you had to be on the VIP list. Gator, Snitch Ass was on the VIP list. Jesse Coon Jackson was on the VIP. These were all the people that were on the VIP list to go upstairs in the chambers. But we'll put me upstairs on the third floor where they got plexiglass where you cannot touch. That's when they really started playing with us. They really started playing with us, and I'm like, God, crazy. I mean, it was so messed up. I remember the day that this is the first clip that Fox, as I say, man, Fox, y'all the GOAT, man. Y'all the GOAT, man. Y'all literally are the GOAT, man. I'll never say no to Fox News, man, because this was the first clip. Now, I'm not knowing that we going viral down there. You know, I'm not. I want them to settle the case. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Right here.
Simple question. Do you, as a resident of Chicago, believe that we should remain a sanctuary city? It's
If I have to ask you again to cease and desist with noise, I will have you removed from this chamber.
Yeah, things got so heated. The meeting was eventually shut down. Anthony Napolitano again today after chaos.
All right. Shout out to my man, Anthony Napolitano, my Italian uncle, Anthony, because he saw the bullshit. Also, he's a police officer, also independent, also the only Republican up in that motherfucker. All right. Not really. Anyway, that was a sanctuary city when they violated our our right to give a vote on ending sanctuary city. They let Carlos Ramirez Rosa, who's running the park district right now, under the ground. They let him do all this because these are gay supremacists. Probably have sex with all these people and these niggas is on the down low, so he's blackmailing them probably. So he just slutting his way up to the top, and DEI don't have nothing to do with running this with the man, with everybody, with the Hispanic cartel, all this stuff, the Latino cartel. But anyway, Fox put that on there, whatever, and I still couldn't. So they tried to change and now we got rules down there, they got metal detector down there, they got all these things, and trying to still suppress my voice, right? To the point that I got arrested down there, right? They finally was like, you know what? So this is my arrest. I don't think I got the whole arrest, but this is when I started realizing how messed up, like the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, how I really didn't have the entertainment people by my side. Like, I feel like, I get the manage Dick Gregory. Like, you would think they would have just paid homage and took care of me because of that, but nah. So once they arrested me about these chambers, because Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, who's also one of the Hispanic KKK members in Puerto Rican, she decided to violate my First Amendment when it came to me. I signed up to speak. Me and Mr. Blakemore started to speak, and she chose Frank Chapman and the Palestinian people because she was going back and forth with Deborah Silverstein because that situation just happened on October 7th with the hostages. So they squaring off down there while I'm down there trying to get some help with my property because it's still been sitting over here and I put my mother in the hospital. I think I'm gonna keep dealing with this. They decided to not let me speak. And I'm like, no, I signed up first. I was here first. Yeah, I'm gonna speak. And she decided not to. So I'm about to put this out here. Because after they decided to take me downstairs, they arrested me and take me downstairs, I thought they were going to let me go. The police thought they were going to let me go. But no, the sergeant at arms, Alvin bitch-ass Starks, told them to arrest me. So before that, I put this out because I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, what I got to do. They violated my First Amendment. And instead of him today apologizing, hey, I'm sorry because I reported him, but he got mad. I apologize because I'm a woman, because that's the thing I keep trying to tell people. Just because my sexual orientation does not mean that I'm not a woman. So they treat me as I just get railroaded. I just continue to get railroaded as a Black lesbian female. So they try to pin me up against the police. And I know that's not fair. How do you arrest somebody for speaking for freedom of speech? Like, come on now. Come on now. You want me to cease fire? You want Rosanna Rodriguez want me to cease fire, want me to solidarity, but I can't get 2 minutes to speak. And I had something so good to talk about, because my thing is, we don't need the government, man. We have so much money. We have so much money in our community. We just need to do this motherfucking market, man. We need to boycott 2.0. We need to do our black market, because they're going to do everything to not have me come here. Come on now. All this. Palestinians came in here and went crazy. Not one of them got arrested for their freedom of speech. Everybody has rights to be mad. The Palestinians got rights to be mad. The Blacks got rights to be mad. Everybody got rights to be mad. Jews, I don't know why they mad. Why are the Jews mad? Y'all take over everything. Y'all control everything. Y'all controlling freedom of speech. Niggas, the Jews is fucking controlling freedom of speech. Nigga, this is crazy. That's, you know what? Because we don't have our own money. If Black people had our own money, they couldn't do this. That's why I gotta file these federal fucking lawsuits. I got a pro se every day. Because I can't find a civil rights lawyer. Now, them Palestinians turned up in here. Sergeant at Arms didn't tell them to arrest them. Sergeant at Arms didn't tell them to arrest them. But me, little old me, just me, I'm in handcuffs. So, Sergeant at Arms violated my First Amendment on Friday. So I ended up getting arrested. And when I got arrested, I go to court. I had a, they thought they were going to give me like a ticket and let me leave from the place, but nope. What happened was I had to spend a night there, even though I watched an illegal girlfriend and boyfriend, girl pregnant. They just got in there because they were stealing from Macy's. They got in there for about an hour and they released them back out. But me, I had to spend the night there, then travel and go to California. Okay, and see a judge. And the prosecutor said I got a warrant in New Orleans. I got a warrant. I knew about the warrant in Maryland. And I had a warrant in Atlanta, all that stuff. I probably got a whole bunch of warrants in Atlanta because I can't go back to court because I've been here fighting this court for selling my case, for selling my family's case because I shouldn't be in these courts anyway. I got court cases in Atlanta for domestic violence. These girls is crazy. I'm a girl, they're a girl. We be fighting, okay? But because I'm the man of the relationship, I'm always got to be the one to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, then I got this dumb case of not a DUI because I was racing fast to really go get some vagina. That's really what it was, okay? But I was listening to my music. I got chose my playlist, so I'm in a zone. But anyway, they say I was not walking right and all this other stuff. It's basically like I'm panicking because I ain't got my license, trying to get to some vagina, just a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm ready for y'all just to let me go. And because I'm really one block away from where I'm supposed to go to. But that didn't happen. But luckily, my ex at the time and my homie, who's a police officer and stuff, they were able to get my car and they have to go to the pound. But I had to go and sober up. And my friend ended up bailing me out later on that day on my bond. But I never got to finish whatever I need to do because this situation happened with my mom. So that's another reason why I'm hesitant about running for office if I ever wanted to run for office because I have stuff I have to take care of because I went and deliberately did this, and I'm just waiting for these people to settle my case. So fast forward, got all that stuff, went to jail, came out. My mother thought I was crazy. She had to go to Jackson Park. I go to Jackson Park hospital for a minute, and I really went because I needed a mental break. I mean, everybody thought I was crazy, but I wasn't crazy. Like, I saw the BS. I'm looking like in order for me to get some justice, I gotta get shot and killed. Like, I gotta be a hashtag package, and I gotta break my mother's heart. My mother gotta have a broken heart for in order for us to get justice. Like, this is dumb. Like, and y'all gonna continue to vote this way? Why? Why are you voting this way? What are they doing for you that you can't just try and see about the other side that we have never given a chance to? Like, what? So, that was like my whole thing with it. And then when I saw I couldn't get no press, and I wasn't gonna get any press, like I say, shout out to people don't like Charlemagne, but shout out to Charlemagne. Charlemagne was the only person that gave me 30 minutes to explain. Now, he probably didn't know I was about to go in on the Democrats like that, but I had to hurry up and get everything out I could get out because they were silencing me for so long. And then so that was, my whole situation. Like, I got a few people that rock with me, you understand? Like I got a little following, for comedy, Dick Gregory, Twain, Breakfast Club. I think let me hurry up and get these out. Bam, 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 bam. And I did. And then you would think after I did the Breakfast Club, they would have settled the case. But no, they did not settle the case. I just knew they were going to settle the case. Did not settle the case. Also, I thought that my mom, I had did a GoFundMe for my mom, to get some money so she could start building, because we got land, right? So they knocked the building down, but we still got the land. So to start building, my mother just wants to build what they want to build her affordable housing. So I did a GoFundMe thing. That didn't really do well, but I really wasn't tripping off that, because I'm like, it doesn't matter, because I know they're going to sell the case. Like, I went to Breakfast Club. No. So they don't even respect the Breakfast Club, for real. You keep it honest. So then he went and got me on, he went and made a phone call and got me hooked up with Kamala Harris people, and hoping that maybe she would settle this case. Get them, because I done reached out to everybody I could reach out to. You know what I'm saying? No, ignore me, right? So I was down at City Hall. I mean, I was down at the DNC. One of my friends worked for the mayor in DC, and she got me up in there. So when I went in there, I had on my no, I'm about to show it to you. Oh, this is my mugshot, y'all. My mugshot, y'all.
Can you feel that, nigga? I feel it.
Got my side business for life.
Better act like you know better.
Shirt on.
Love is fading. I feel it. Don't want to realize.
All right. So all that, because they didn't want me to speak on the phone. They didn't want me to speak because they was having a Gaza versus Israel battle. Rosanna Rodriguez and what's it called? Wow, I'm homeless house this motherfucker. Y'all just like what the fuck? What is it? It was crazy. Anyway. Oh no, where we about to go? All right. Okay. So then when I realized that we playing this game on, when he got this hat made, because I'm like, okay, y'all want to play this game? Y'all want to play this game? Bet. You got me arrested down here. I'm banned. I can't come down. You done told, I went to my first court date. You done, Sergeant of Arms, Alvin Starks is there telling them I can't come back until it's a misdemeanor. You had the whole Sergeant of Arms come to misdemeanor court and tell that I can't come back until the case is done? What? Then I came back. With my Make Chicago Great Again hat. Because it's game on now. As Gregory said, it's a game. You're absolutely right. Game on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay. My mother was still living downtown at 600 North Lake Shore, even though we got a lawsuit against HUD and CHA and all that, because they got me up out of they were trying to evict us from down there because they were retaliating against my mom and me because I'm down there going off, and they want her to stay in her place. They don't want her down there, right? Because I'm seeing everything. So, like, long story short, right? So I'm down there. So I'm in the elevator, and I say to the guy in the elevator, I said, "Man, what you think about this election coming up with Biden and Trump?" He says the Democrats have to win. I'm in pharmaceutical sales. I said, oh, You're in pharmaceutical sales. So they have to win. Just kill us because you're in pharmaceutical sales. Yep. And that's when I just start realizing, like, okay, you're not gonna give a fuck about nothing. You don't care about anything. These are the devils. We can play the game. Okay, you gotta get savage mode to fuck with these things. You gotta get just as soulless as these chicks. You say you gotta be like, Father, I've sinned. Father, I repent. I sin. But you gotta go into to fight the Democratic Party. You gotta go into the little confession after, like, because you gotta get just as crazy as them. You gotta get just as gangster disciples as them. They're the real gangs. Okay? So when I started realizing like all of this stuff, it's like, oh yeah, like if neither one of them ain't got nothing for us, that's how I was looking at it, right? Like we need a boycott. We need a boycott. We need to hold our dollar. We don't need to do anything until they find some legislation before some agenda. Like they need to find some money. Like they done let all these illegals over, giving them all this fucking money. Like, I mean, I'm confused. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, God, this ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? We get replaced. You got a thing called New America's Plan. Shout out to Mark Carter. Mark Carter trying to let people know, like, look, y'all, like, it's 45 pages. I need to look this is what we dealing with. And it's like, it's 45 pages. Like, y'all literally can look this up right now. The New America's Plan. Rob May they already knew they was gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? And we as Black people, we are never on time. But the party don't start until we are there. So I was there. I was already at the party. I was trying to get y'all to come to the party because I need y'all to understand that hello, Jim Crow, Joe Biden and them have let in the new niggas to replace us because they know we killing each other. They got it so messed up that you can't get no media for regular justice stuff like them stealing our properties and land. Only got to get killed or foreclosed or all this stuff. They got everything. Like, you can't get no help. They got it so like a machine, like a slave machine, that you can't get no help at all unless you're part of the machine. You got to take an oath to the machine. You got to take an oath to the devil. You got to take an oath to hell. You got to take oath to selfishness. You got to take oath to having like pedophilia. You have to take an oath to disruption, dismantle trauma. You got to take an oath to fucking hell in order to be a part of the democratic machine. They ain't never gave up. Only about their friends. If you wasn't clicked up, if you wasn't part of it, if you wasn't slutting out or doing crazy stuff strange for a little bit of change, if you didn't have nothing on somebody and somebody and somebody, then you are a part of the scandalous Democrats. Now, me, I don't align with anybody. At that time, I didn't align with anybody until these niggas disrespected my family. There's a restaurant called John Grill. I was on John Grill when John Grill was in DePaul. Shout out to Errol. Errol was a chef, and Tony Cokehead self took advantage of Chef Errol. Chef Errol was a good chef. He's from Jamaica. Shout out to my man. I think he's in Florida right now. Anyway, he stopped being loyal to Errol. So when Ja Grill moved over here to Hyde Park, I still was going through support. I brought everybody there. I brought Mr. Gregory there. I got a picture with me and Mr. Gregory there. I brought Linnell there. I brought a lot of people to Ja Grill when I was doing comedy shows, because I was doing comedy shows at Promontory. So it was right. Everything was meant. They disrespected me when I first came back here. And when they disrespected me, I said I was never going back in there, and I never did. Never did, and will never go back in there. And I refuse to go back in there. Okay, I don't go back to places where you're going to disrespect me, especially when I'm paying my dollar. So with this situation with my mother and them not settling my mother's case stuff, I automatically was a Republican. Automatically. City of Chicago, automatically. Federally, I really don't care because at the end of the day, it starts locally. Locally, die-hard Republican. All I want is red. I'll call me anything but a Democrat. Y'all niggas crazy. Y'all done knocked down my building. I've been down there trying to get help from y'all. Y'all won't settle the case. Like, come on, I'm everything. I'm everything that y'all fighting for. I'm gay, I'm black, I'm a woman. Like, what, fat? Like, what's up? I can't get no help? Okay, cool, bitch. All right. And y'all trying to make me homeless, and y'all trying to take my mother voucher, because you won't take my mother voucher. You take my mother voucher. You won't settle the case. You violated my First Amendment. You are threatening, locking me up because knowing that, you got these warrants. I don't care at this point. I don't care. Lock me up. I don't care. Yeah, I'm fighting a whole RICO. I'm trying to all locked up. I want to see who's going to get locked up first, me or you. Because my thing is, get Trump in office, I can get a pardon. Yeah, I can get a pardon. They probably can go and take care of everything I need to take care of. So at the end of the day, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, he did this. He's a convicted criminal. Yes, y'all wrongfully convicted that man because y'all felt like he's a traitor. He saw y'all bullshit. And he said, call me anything but a Democrat. He saw the BS and said, nope, I'm a Republican. Like anybody with common sense is not going to continue to stay in an abusive relationship. He saw the BS just like I saw the BS here. So yeah, automatically aligned with a Republican. Why would I keep aligning with a group of people? Who? So no, y'all motherfuckers just straight try to put all the J6ers in jail for 50 to 100 years of life, like y'all did with Larry Hoover because he was trying to do growth and development and he was trying to let people wear suits now. You know the crazy thing about the Larry Hoover thing is that Governor Pritzker can pardon him. Well, he's not going to pardon him, just like the Jersey governor will never pardon Assata Shakur. That's why she's still in Cuba. Okay, I have no issue with Cuba. I actually fuck with Cuba because Assata's there. Okay, and she's safe and good. But but they won't even. But the governor there won't pardon Assata, and that is a Democratic governor, just like Governor Pritzker will not pardon Larry Hoover, but you know that we need Larry Hoover out here right now because he was doing growth and development. He was getting them in check, to understand politics, business, and all that type of stuff. But y'all could not handle that. But right now we're dealing with the cartel. Meech, right? Meech is home. Meech look like a fool. And the reason why Meech look like a fool is because when Meech came home, Meech should immediately be dressing his age. Y'all got Meech out here dressing like a young nigga. Meech is damn near 60 years old. You cannot, come on now. You cannot. Y'all, that's the problem. That's the problem. If somebody, Meech is a legend, but Meech out here looking like a whole fool because y'all out here got him dressed like a young nigga. Like, no, he's an old nigga. He OG. You understand? So when Larry Hoover comes out, Larry Hoover's not going to be looking like Fly Guy in the 70s. He's gonna come out dressed like an OG, just like the man he was, his suit, stuff like that. What he was trying to do, and they could not do that. They could not do that. Okay, So he needs to come home. This is the time that Larry needs to come home. But our governor is not going to pardon him. So we have to remove him and put somebody in that's going to pardon him. Because that's what needs to happen. They don't want us to actually love our community. They don't want us to build our community. They don't want us to plant our community. They don't want to. The liberals and the white racist liberals aren't helping. They're sitting here saying that we don't have no crime. We don't need the people to come here. How do you know you don't live over there? All y'all do is try to gentrify and take our shit. That's why. Continue for us to continue to fuck each other over and kill each other and do whatever. You don't care. You don't care. Just gentrify. You just want to move over there. Understand? You don't care. We're exterminating each other. It's a genocide, whole genocide going on in these communities. But we got only care about is the Gaza genocide. Now, both parties, I can't stand Jim Crow Joe Biden, but they both offered them Gaza people to come over here. They refuse to come over here because they're over there fighting for their land. Just like I'm fighting for my land, and nobody's not standing with me. So to sit here and say we don't need the National Guard is insane. When this city is literally about to get stolen from the battle of the countries. You've got the Haitian mayor, you've got Israel, you've got Palestine, you've got Mexico and Venezuela trying to take over this city of Chicago. Why y'all mad at President Trump to come and get these 22 million illegals out of this country, even though it's probably 100 million foreigners here? The immigration system is broken. It's broken. There's people that do not respect the visas. They stay over here in the visas. We've got expired visas over here. We've got a whole bunch of, when we go over to their country, we cannot stay over there. If we stay over there, let me tell you, I was locked up in the Bahamas, right? I had a joint in my pocket. And I didn't know it was in my thing, and I thought they were gonna throw it away, but no, they didn't throw it away. So I ended up having to stay there, right? Because they don't have a no marijuana tolerance, all this stuff, right? They don't want the kids doing it. Respect, I understand, right? Cool, bet. So I didn't yell at them. I didn't argue with them. I never had a handcuff on. Never had a handcuff on. I had to, jail, put me in jail, whatever. But I had to walk. My suitcase and all that, but you know what they had? They had big guns, okay? So if I wanted to run, dead. There ain't no choice, okay? Ended up going to, they let me out late, so I couldn't catch the next flight. So I had to go back to like the detainer where they detain the people who have expired visas and stuff, right? So in there, I'm the only American. The rest of them are coming from. There's one Chinese. It's a few from Africa, a lot from Haiti, a lot of Haitians. And they were sending me, during WhatsApp, giving me numbers and stuff. And I reached out to all the people that they gave the numbers to, let them know their little notes, what they were asking for, because you do that in regular jail. People give you got some kites or whatever. Hey, can you call this number? Can you tell? Yeah. So I did that, but I had to sit in there and ask all the people telling me, oh, my visa, I stayed over here past my visa time, Well, when are the people coming? I don't know. I've been here for 6 months, 7 months. I've been here for 8 months. All this stuff. That's what they're saying. They there. Now, mind you, I'm the only American. And they're, like, I'm a gym. You understand? So I don't got no embassy though. My embassy is the U.S. government, right? So I end up leaving all that stuff. But to let you know that I had to go by their rules. So like with the whole situation with Brittany Griner and stuff like that, like, girl, you brought all that stuff over there. You don't know you've been playing over in wrestling for this long. You don't know how to slip it in there. Like what would you slipped up for the first time by accident, like messed up, or you got caught for the worst time. Yeah, you gotta do what they gotta. You gotta do their rules. You gotta do Russian rules. And then you can't argue with the rules. And you're in another country. But when it comes to here, these people still here. And so we've got all these extra people over here that's messing up our economy. And then you've got voters voting wrong for a party who does not care about you and literally stealing your money and blaming it on oppression. So, saying that to say that this man has to bring everybody he needs to bring. He needs to bring everybody because we are under attack by the cartel. And Brandon Johnson and Pritzker and the rest of them they all got money. Father Flake, all in on this. That's why they can't settle my case. They don't want to settle my case because they want to continue to keep me homeless. They want to continue to keep me. Let me tell you how messed up it is. The Revolt Summit, 2021. No, 2023. 2022. I got into it with the security. And they bruised me up, called me all type of way, pushed me, all this stuff. I reached out to Revolt because I was asking them to pay me. You understand? Because so I want to take out of court, take to court. Anyway, they ignored me, of course. And I was like, shoot, I'm still going to take you out of court. Like I'm going to take you out of court. I'm not playing these games. So went to court. So make a long story short, my lawyer, which she should have kept Revolt on, she didn't, but she sued the staffing company, the security company. The security company had insurance. The insurance company denied the claim. And mind you, I think at that time my lawyer was asking for like $100,000. So we ended up going to court. I just actually had court July via Zoom, and they didn't show up. Revolt came in there, and they were like, "We didn't get anything." But she was like, "Well, I'm not suing Revolt. You understand? I'm suing the company or whatever." So they never showed up. I got a judgment. For almost $500,000, $434,000. I need that money. I owe people. And I also need that money so I can live. Now, mind, it's a private company. I sent them a letter asking them, the insurance company. I sent them a letter, right, explaining to them that I need my money. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read the letter to you because I got a judgment for $400,000 over almost $500,000 Y'all have insurance. Y'all had the place had insurance. I don't care if they didn't show up. I don't care that the JP. I got a judgment. I got a judgment from this judge. So let's see. I wrote them first. Then I have an attorney, personal attorney that has started helping me ever since the Breakfast Club. She was very surprised that nobody did not reach out to me after the Breakfast Club. That's how I know that we just have incompetent attorneys and all that. So anyway, I have the judgment. The judgment says in the state of court of Fulton County, state of Georgia, defendant JP Executive Staff, Inc., did not file an answer to plaintiff's complaint, and default judgment as to liability was entered against the case against the plaintiff. Okay, it was entered against them. The case was placed on this court's July 18th, 2025 bench trial calendar. At the bench trial, plaintiff appeared with counsel. Defendant JPES did not appear. Plaintiff, having unliquidated damages, presented evidence of her damages. After hearing the evidence, the court rules as follows. Judgment is entered against defendant JPES in favor of plaintiff in the amount of $454,187.47. This amount is inclusive to $27,897 for past medical expenses, $25,800 for future medical expenses, $240,000 for general damages, $150,000 for punitive damages, and $9,170 for attorney fees, and $1,320 for case costs. Now, I reached out to their insurance company because they had liability insurance, and I got awarded this judgment. Like I don't care, right? But I started hitting up. I hit up Revolt too, because my thing is, if I don't care if it was filed. I mean, if the motion was dismissed. They filed the motion was dismissed. I'm not motion. Dismissed with prejudice, and we can't go back and sue Revolt. No. Because I opened it back up as a Rule Motion 60 to talk about this happened at y'all event. So if they don't want to pay, then it falls back on y'all. And we're going to talk about this because I got this judgment for $454,000, and you're liable because it happened at your place, and they're liable because they had insurance, and that was the whole purpose of insurance. Anything that happens like this. So for y'all ignoring me is crazy when I need my money. So hold on. Let me get the yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. Ain't no service in here. That'd be the worst. So their insurance company was Kinsale Insurance Company, right? So I reached out to Ken Sapp, and his name was the CEO dude is Michael Kehoe, something like that. So when I sent the email, I was trying to send it to my bro John Hyder's site, and by accident I sent the letter to John Hendricks, who is he is one of the Brad. He's a city of Chicago crooked ass attorney as well. But it was by accident because I was trying to send it to John H. But I sent it to him by accident. So let me find my man, because he barely has these are the white men. So Bradley Wilson and this man right here are the white men that's holding me down from getting paid. So when they talk about Donald Trump and stuff, this white man right here, who is a lawyer, is holding me from getting back. But anyway, I sent it to him by accident. So I said this was August 8th. Mr. Kehoe, I'm contacting you regarding an outstanding judgment entered in my favor in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia on July 31st, 2025, case number 24 EV008255, Zomarsh Lee versus JP Executive Staffing. The court awarded me $454,187.45 in damages after JP Executive Staff, your insured, failed to respond to appear. The breakdown is as follows: $27,897 past medical, $25,800 future medical, $240,000 general damages, $150,000 punitive damages, $9,170 for attorney fees, $1,320 for case costs. This case stems from a 2022 incident in which security staff employed by JP executive staff and physically attacked me. Your insurer carried an active commercial general liability and excess liability policies with Kinsale Insurance Company at the time. Those policies provided $1 million to $3 million in coverage per occurrence. It is now 3 years since this incident and over 1 week since the judgment was entered. I am demanding full payment of this judgment no later than Friday, August 15th, 2025. Failure to comply will result in immediate filing of a lawsuit against Kinsale Insurance Company for bad faith refusal to pay a valid claim under Georgia law. A significant increase in the damages I will seek in that lawsuit. Public disclosure of this case and your company's refusal to pay through Chicago First Red, the national political and community platform I lead with an audience across multiple U.S. cities. Formal complaint filings with the U.S. Department of Justice, Georgia Department of Insurance, and other relevant regulatory bodies. Chicago First Red is an organization that educates, organizes, and mobilizes communities across the country on government accountability, civil rights, and public corruption. We have active networks in major cities, including Chicago, Detroit, New York, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, and we use our platform to ensure that corporations and public officials are held accountable for their actions. This matter can be resolved quickly if your company fulfills its obligations under the policy you issued to JP Executive Staffing. I expect a written confirmation from you or your legal department by Monday, August 11th. That payment will be processed in full and received by the August 15th deadline. So yeah, I didn't get John Hendricks. His name is John Hendricks. I didn't get, so I forwarded that to John. So when I did that by accident, all of a sudden, a couple of days later, I get a cease and desist letter from a company that works with the city about me going around saying that Dennis Raphael, this is Dennis Raphael, y'all. These people crazy. This is how sick. This is how sick this city is, and they think I'm just a retard. I just hate that they think that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm just. You just gonna tell me anything because y'all have let these people think that black people just slow or something. I don't know. They just tell us anything. Y'all just normalize it. This is look, man. So this nigga, this Raphael, who been a claim adjuster for over 30 years, the one who committed insurance fraud, they gonna send me a cease and desist letter. Let me read y'all this crazy systems. I did, and I got a video with him. He on. I already did. I'm trying to tell you something. Like, it never a lot. Like, none of this never changes. All of this stuff is the same. So anyway, they sent me a cease and desist letter, 8/12. Now, mind you, I wrote that August 8th, right, to the kid on an accident in a weekend. I sent it to him. So what they did was, because they see I'm about to get this money, right? They probably called over there, probably did all that stuff. So because now I got money, right? Now I got money to really do what I need to go do to take this democratic machine down. Also, now I got stability. I got a place. I got enough money that I was awarded, that I got a judgment for, that I can go and get my own place. Me and my mom get my mother 76 sleeping on the couch. I'm sleeping on the floor. So again, they can't have that. So I get this and desist letter a couple of days later. Dear Miss Lee, our firm, the firm is Dakima. Demand to Zoe Lee to the cease and desist removal of the formatary statements. Dear Ms. Lee, our firm represents Corbell and Mr. Raphael in Notre Dame Affordable Housing versus City of Chicago, case number 18 CV 8116. We have discovered a significant number of troubling social media posts from you dating back to at least November 2023. On multiple occasions and across multiple social media platforms, you posted Mr. Raphael's photograph. That's it right there, yeah. I'm posting it again. Identify his position and employment at Corbell, demanded his firing, yes, accused him of committing crimes, yeah, he's a criminal, and called for his arrest. Yeah, I mean, when I committed my crimes, they called for my arrest. I got arrested at the time, so yeah, I mean, that's it. So anyway, from November 7th to 8th, 2023, you wrongfully posted Mr. Raphael's. No, it wasn't wrongfully, but posted Mr. Raphael's photo and accused him of insurance fraud and bad faith on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Yes, it definitely was bad faith insurance. My mother, y'all got the demolition permit December 11th, 2017. My mother filed her claim October 2017. Y'all said that the statute of limitations was over. Y'all said that the building was knocked down in October, not that demolition permit. That demolition permit was December 11th, 2017. So what is you talking about? That is bad faith insurance fraud. Okay. On November 9th, 2020, November 9th, November 29th, December 10th, and December 21st, 2023, and February 19th, 2024, you wrongfully posted, can't wait until the feds greet Dennis Raphael, calling for Mr. Raphael's arrest, firing, and imprisonment on Twitter. Yes, President Trump, I cannot wait until the feds greet Dennis Raphael for insurance fraud. He committed bad faith insurance fraud. He's still working for the city. All right. On January 5th, 2024, you wrongfully posted on Facebook calling for Mr. Raphael to be fired and arrested for insurance fraud. Mr. President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, my godfather, Donald Trump, I need you to come and arrest this man, Dennis Raphael, for bad faith insurance fraud. I've got all of the evidence to prove that this happen. Okay? All right. On February 27th, April 7th, April 10th, and May 9th, 2024, you wrongfully accused Mr. Raphael of insurance fraud on Twitter. No, he committed insurance fraud. I don't think they know what insurance fraud is, because a lot of these people is just DEI hires and don't know what they're doing. Okay? So on April 11th, 2024, you wrongfully accused Mr. Raphael of insurance fraud on Facebook. No, okay, I never know. These are all you. Nothing is wrong. Y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong for even sending me this. On August 1st, 2024, you wrongfully indicated that Mr. Raphael was participating in insurance fraud on YouTube. Yes, he was participating. Matter of fact, he participating. So he had more. Yeah, he participated with whoever told him to tell them that the statute of limitations is up. Yes. So they did. I want to know who that person was who told him to commit insurance fraud. That's who we need to talk. That's who we've been trying to figure that out since we've been trying to figure out who wants that land so bad over there. All right. Not only do these posts contradict your claim that you first became aware of misconduct supporting the motion to vacate in March 25, they are false, misleading, harassing, damaging to the reputation and professional integrity of my clients and constitute of invasion of privacy. Moreover, our concerns are generated but not just by content for your post, but also your prior arrest record for battery. Try to put it on me. Your repeated calls for action against Mr. Raphael raised valid concerns for his safety. You let the city make me homeless because of your actions, and my godfather is homeless. He lost all his memories. He lost everything in there. He's homeless, barely. He barely holding on, and he had to go back to Jackson. Okay? What are you talking about? My safety, my mom's safety. My mother's sleeping on the couch. I'm sleeping on the floor. We sleeping like I never lived like this. Okay? I can't even lose weight the way that I want to lose weight because I can't focus. Okay? We hereby demand that you, one, delete all of her posts referring to Mr. Raphael and Corvell. Delete Mr. Raphael's photo that you posted without permission. Boy, I got this from LinkedIn. Crazy. These the lawyers, y'all. These the lawyers, y'all. Statements about Mr. Raphael and Corvell, we request that you provide written confirmation of your intent to comply with these demands on or before August 19th. My client reserved all their legal rights and remedies regarding this matter, including claims for damages. We hope to resolve this matter. I responded back. I know they ain't talking about. I know they ain't coming to me. Tell me take down anything. I know they not. Not me. No, not. So I started with. Where we at? Crazy lady, Miss Chico, Melanie Chico, see Melanie Chico, her brother died, but her brother also was a lawyer at City of Chicago. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? They all work together. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to her brother who passed away, but he also was plugged in. Okay, so reached out and I said, Ms. Chico, also in response to your August 12, 2025 letter, the city of Chicago's own records, including the demolition permit dated December 11, 2017, and the claim acknowledgement letter from Mr. Dennis Raphael dated October 19, 2018, confirmed that my claim was filed within 1 year statute of limitations under the Illinois Tort Immunity Act. Mr. Raphael's letter acknowledges receipt of the claim nearly 2 months before the deadline he stated, December 11, 2018. His subsequent denial letter on December 3rd, 2018 was not based on lateness, but on an unwillingness to pay. That decision, in light of the clear and timely file, constitutes bad faith insurance handling. If Mr. Raphael acted on instructions from others to wrongfully deny this claim, that is a matter of investigation by the proper authorities. If he had simply approved the claim in accordance with the city's own documentation, this matter would not have escalated. Corvell's involvement in defending Mr. Raphael, given their role as third-party administrator for the city, raises legitimate questions of conflict of interest that will be addressed in the pending litigation. The city of Chicago has refused to resolve this case despite the evidence in its own files. I will continue to speak publicly about the truth of this matter, supported by official documents. Then, August 17th, I said, Dear Ms. Chico, before this week begins, I wanted to share with you the YouTube video I released featuring Dennis Raphael. In that video, I specifically referenced you, your brother, who previously served as corporation counsel for the city of Chicago, and to my knowledge was connected with Bradley Wilson and Jim Hendricks, and your law firm's extensive work on behalf of the city. This includes the city's affiliation with Harry N. Arger, a seasoned litigator at Dykema Gossett PLLC, the same firm where you currently practice. First, please accept my condolences regarding Stewart. I'm sure he was a stand-up citizen and lawyer, much like yourself. That said, given these ties, it is clear that there is a serious conflict of interest in this matter. Sending a cease and desist letter on behalf of these parties only highlights the issue further. If your client maintains that denying this claim was justified and not an act of bad faith, I'm fully prepared to proceed to court, present my case, and bring forward witnesses and my support system. However, the city should recognize that prolonging this matter only increases its exposure. This case carries RICO implications, and the longer it is delayed, the more damaging it will be to all involved. The city's best course of action is determine a fair settlement amount and resolve this matter promptly. Sincerely, Zoe Lee. And then I attached the city of Chicago insurance fraud, the Dennis Raphael letter. So y'all gotta look at that one. That was a good one. Okay. Stop. Ken Snell. So after I told my lawyer, shout out to Ms. Leroy, about the money, I'm like, look, man, I was like, I got this case where I need my money. I said, I need my money, man. And I said, this lawyer that I said, Georgia, man, I don't know, man. Y'all lawyers kind of weak too, because this is the second lawyer that I got. I mean, this is the second case that I got out of Georgia. And both lawyers I gave them great cases. The first case I gave this guy was the Delta case, the Delta Airlines case. It was an easy, no-brainer case. I gave this man this case, and he ended up really messing up that case, and I had to literally fire him instead of my own case. The rest of it, I really could have got more, but at that time, I needed what I could get because I was out there protesting, and I wasn't getting nothing in. So that, and in this case, like, there's a whole law out here, Miss Seal, and that we can go after to get my money for bad faith insurance fraud from this judge, for this insurance company, and you don't want to fight it. So I had to reach out to my attorney, Danielle, who's helping me with this case with the city with the motions, Rule 60. And I asked her, could she write a demand letter? I'm like, maybe, you write a demand letter, they'll settle the case, 21 days. And then I'm going to send it overnight. So, sent the letter. Let's see. Let's see, it's cease and desist. Cease and desist. All right. So I sent a letter off. I sent a letter off. We sent a letter to Kinsale, and we sent a letter to the underwriter, insurance underwriter. And she says, to whom it may concern, this firm represents Zoe Marshall, judgment creditor in the above referenced matter. On July 31st, 2025, the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia, entered a default judgment against your insured, JP Executive Staffing, in the amount of $454,187.45, plus post-judgment interest and costs following a bench trial held on July 18, 2025. Enclosed is a copy of the judgment as the insurer identified on the commercial access liability policy issued to JP Executive Staffing, policy number 0100209504-0, effective October 5th, 2022 to July 21st, 2023. You may have coverage obligations for this loss. Accordingly, demand is made. The Kinsale Insurance Company remit payment in full within 21 days of the date of this letter. Payment should be made payable to me, my address. Failure to remit payment for specified time will result in our client pursuing all available legal remedies, including post-judgment enforcement actions without further notice. Right. So tomorrow makes 21 days. Tomorrow makes 21 days, and they haven't responded to me. Now, I wrote them a letter. Once I checked to see if all the letters was sent. Shout out to my team for making sure I had the money. I didn't have the money to overnight it, man. My team made sure that I had the money to overnight these letters over. Now, so all right. So then I write them and said, Dear Mr. Kehoe, this was August 19th, 2025. I'm writing regarding the judgment entered in my favor against JP Executive Staffing arising from the assault and racial discrimination I experienced at the Revolt Summit in Atlanta. A demand letter was delivered to your office on August 18, 2025, officially notifying Kinsale Insurance of your insured obligations under the liability policy. As of today, I expect full payment of the judgment to be issued promptly. To be clear, the judgment is enforceable under Georgia law, and your insurer's liability policy covers this loss. Delaying payment can constitute bad faith refusal, which may expose Kinsale to penalties and attorney fees provided under Georgia Code 33-4-6. Please ensure that the check is issued and delivered on or before September 9th, 2025. If you intend to pay via wire transfer, my attorney or I are available to provide wire instructions to facilitate immediate payment. I have also posted a video detailing the incident and the legal outcome, which I'm sharing for context. As you can see, this case is not only about my personal experience, but about accountability for the companies that provide services at public events. Finally, for clarity regarding Revolt Media, while they were dismissed with prejudice, Georgia Rule of Civil Procedure 60 provides a path to reopen the case if new evidence emerges or if it is discovered that they misrepresented their role in security. This is not a threat. It is simply an acknowledgement of my legal rights and the avenues available should further information come to light. I trust Kinsale will honor its obligations and issue payment promptly. My attorney and I are available to confirm the payment details and ensure this matter is resolved without delay. All right. So tomorrow will make 21 days. And they have not sent me anything. They have not reached out to my attorney, anything like that. And if that for that, I need to get a Georgia attorney to sue them, and I will get more. Because they get a fine, and on top of it's a whole thing I get, like it's a whole little another package. You understand? For them doing bad faith. Same thing that this man right here did, bad faith insurance fraud. This is what these people do. So literally, I am asking President Trump to please send the Department of Justice, the feds, and what I did write, now I will say this, I did write the Department of Justice to, let's see, the new guy, Andrew Batoros. I wrote him 8/23/2025. And Pam Bondi too. I said, "Dear Ms. Bondi, my name is Zoe Lee, and I'm writing on behalf of my mother, Charlene Marsh, 75 years old, and my godfather, Leroy Singleton, 81. My mother's nonprofit, Notre Dame Affordable Housing, is suing the city of Chicago for unlawful demolition and violation of due process. Our attorney has filed a Rule 60 motion citing insurance fraud and bad faith actions by the city of Chicago's law department. This fight has been ongoing for nearly 10 years. My godfather purchased the building in 1966 and paid it off decades ago. The city's interference only began when it moved to seize his additional lots, consistent with a pattern of targeting property owners in the so-called blighted areas, especially where tax increment financing funds are involved. At the time of demolition, my mother had already invested her own money and raised funds to rehabilitate the property into affordable housing. She initially only sought reimbursement. Instead, the city escalated the matter despite clear evidence in her favor. Both my mother and godfather have extensive documentation proving that the Department of Buildings and the city's insurance adjuster were wrong. The city's relentless pressure campaign even led to my mother's hospitalization in January 2023. That's when I stepped in directly to fight for justice. Over the past 2 years, I have appealed to Mayor Brandon Johnson, Corporation Counsel Mayor Richardson Lowry, Governor J.B. Pritzker, Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul, DOJ under Merrick Garland, and even the office of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Yet accountability has been consistently denied. The case of Notre Dame Affordable Housing versus City of Chicago case number 18-CV8116, currently before Judge Franklin U. Valderrama At this stage, I am respectfully requesting a fair mediation process with the city of Chicago to reach a resolution that allows my family to put this matter to rest, a federal investigation into the city of Chicago's conduct, including possible criminal charges to address the fraud, obstruction, and abuse of power tied to this case. I would deeply appreciate the opportunity to speak with you directly about how the DOJ can ensure accountability and justice in this matter. So I'm asking you, President Trump, to please have someone settle my case. It's under a Trump appointed, this was a federal judge that you appointed in 2016. I don't know if he's part of the corruption or he really is a good judge, but I know that I've been waiting for an answer. And the fact that I have yet to get an answer, and we have all these lawsuits. My mother's suing CHA. My mother's suing the city. I'm suing the city. We've got all the evidence to show, and I can't get I'm living homeless. I'm homeless. I'm also I'm unhoused. I also have a lawsuit, a judgment of almost $500,000, and Kinsale Insurance Company will not send me my check, and the security company was insured. I can't find any attorneys to take these cases, but you sit and watch all these attorneys sue Trump all day. Sue Trump all day, every day. Pay protests all day, every day. Talk about this man is a dictator. He's this, he's that, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's that. The Democratic Party literally has discriminated against my whole family. Has discriminated against me and my mother. Why would I ever support the Democratic Party? Why? Miss Jessica still is waiting for someone to leave her building alone. Like, what is this? Why these people get online, do a press conference, Pritzker, Kwame Raoul, Tony Preckwinkle, Brandon Johnson, about we need more affordable housing to stop the crime when I'm home. When you got me home, you ignore me. Ignore me. I've been doing that for 2 years, having y'all settle my case. Y'all won't settle none of these cases. I got all the evidence, but you'll sue if the police shoot somebody. We spending $1 billion and saving all these police. What's that guy named Burge, and the other guy for doing them torturing. We had $1 billion wrongfully convicting them guys. Just like how y'all got that boy over there for shooting. For Cristo Rivera's murder. And that's a lawsuit that we're gonna have to pay out because he shouldn't be there. But y'all don't want to put her partner in jail, in prison, who is a murderer, who's on the force. So if you got this man out here while you wrongfully convicted another boy because he had he already had some priors, so y'all got him over here for a murder. He didn't shoot the girl, anything like that. We don't even know if that story is true. I want to see the cameras. Pull up the footage. You know what I'm saying? You got nobody talking about that case at all. No. That's a whole murder. But you want me to expect and believe that crime is down. No, crime is not down. Crime will never be down. That's how the Democratic Party continues to make their money. We got it. We make the most money on everything. Deaths, wrongfully convicted. We making the country so rich. We making the country so rich off of our trauma. And y'all mad that some white people see the BS. They living in suburbs. I told you I was a suburban kid, and they're watching the news, and all they're showing is us killing each other in our neighborhood. And anybody that is watching the news is like, why do they keep killing each other? Like, what's going on with that? That's not racist. That is a question that does not make any sense. All this money that's allocated to the black neighborhood, like, why do they just keep killing themselves? Like that, yeah. And nobody who wants to, yeah, we need to stop it. Yeah. So yeah, we need everything, Trump. We need everything. Everything. I need this. I need my 2 tanks, President Trump. I need my 2 tanks. Yes. These kids want to live regular, normal lives. Regular, normal lives. My godson, he's a very smart man. Very, very smart. Very handsome, gorgeous. Gorgeous, my king. He was doing rap music, right? And drill music. But he didn't want to do it. He just did it because he knew how to do it. And I remember telling him, I was like, I took him to the studio, you know, he recorded some stuff and all that stuff. And at that time, I could have gave it to people in Atlanta. And I remember asking, like, well, this is what you want to do? And he like, nah. He said, I just do it for fun. But nah, I don't want to be no drill rapper, like, because that's not his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to be in the military. He wants to he saw the benefits of when he was in military school. You know, like he saw the benefits. Like these people, you got this messed up people here, the Democratic Party. You want our troops and our kids to fight out the country. But when we got stuff right here in the cities, in the neighborhoods where they are known, you don't want them in the neighborhoods, in our own neighborhoods. Who gonna shoot at the National Guard? Who gonna shoot at their homie who went? Just imagine if it was my godson and his homies. They all decided to go to. There's a group of them. They all went to service together, right? Now, we got the troops. They already know about what's going on. We say, all right, y'all about to get stationed back in Chicago. Okay, bet. All right. People going to be super happy to see them. Oh, man, it gives people more hope, more and like, okay, our kids, let me take a picture next to Oh, yeah, I want to be like this when I grow up. They don't have that. You'd rather have our troops go and fight out the country instead of coming into their neighborhoods where they ran and left and got into the military or went and did something because they knew that they didn't want to lose their lives to gun violence, to not bring them back into their communities. But you rather have them go to Vietnam and go to Russia and go to all these imaginary countries to go fight when they can't, when this is their country. This is where they're born and raised. This they shit. Like, none of this makes any sense. So, yes, the National Guard has to come, and the National Guard will come along with ICE. And I really advise y'all to ask Pritzker when is he going to let Larry Hoover out? Because you going to go reach out to violent disruptors for the photo op and to let them know, like, look, man, they're on my balls, man. I don't know what to do. I mean, yeah. So residents are speaking out now. Yeah. Thank you, Fox. You're not going to continue to hurt our children. You're not going to continue to harm our children. You're not going to continue to get them, to make them mentally ill at a young age because y'all are mentally ill and sick. You're going to give them all the resources that are needed. We're going to get the cancers out of our community. Because we deserve to live just like everybody else. You're not going to continue, the Democratic Party is not going to continue to keep making Black people the bank of oppression for them. It's not going to work anymore. And you're not going to sit here and blame it on Donald Trump, who did nothing, who saw the BS like the J6ers saw the BS. When y'all see a J6er, you better thank a J6er because they saw the shit. Just like I saw it going down there in 2023, just like Miss Jessica saw it, just like Danielle saw it, just like a lot of these foreigners saw it in Brighton Park because they was about to put concentration camps. The Democratic Party, the same people that talk about this man being a dictator. So yes, so President Trump, I really would like to have a bed again, and I really would like to be able to have a normal life again and be able to live well and make sure I can spend the last these great years with my mom. My mom is a boomer. I love my mother. I love I'll enjoy going out with my mom. I enjoy hanging with my mom. My mother taught me everything I need and know. And I want to be able to get my family together and do my reunions, and I want to host again, and I want to be able to have a nice computer and really podcast and do everything so I can continue this. I just want to be comfortable, and I'm not comfortable. And I'm not comfortable because the Democratic Party is making me not comfortable. They're making my mom not comfortable. So I've got almost $500,000 that I'd like to get from Kinsale Insurance Company. I also need these cases settled over here in federal court. I need the DOJ and the feds to come arrest these people. I need forensic audits to know about this crime prevention money. And I really want an investigation on all these priests and pastors and the TIF money and the Hispanic KKK and all those things. I need Larry Hoover free. I need R. Kelly free. I just need a lot of people free. I mean, at this point, this don't make no sense. I need my Italians to rise up, because at the end of the day, Al Capone, I need some Al Capone energy. Al Capone mad as hell. Y'all let Christopher Columbus statue be taken. Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. No. It's time for y'all to come out of retirement. Put the suits on. Come on. I need some chicken cacciatore. I need some real chicken cacciatore. That's my favorite Italian meal. Every time I go look to an Italian restaurant, they don't got chicken cacciatore. I don't even go, man. I love chicken cacciatore. So yeah, man. Yeah. Cash Patel, I need you to come on. How much tandoori chicken I eat? I love me some tandoori chicken. I love me some Indian food now. I need help. Miss Bondi. I need help, President Trump. I want to live normal. I want to be able to have a home. I want to be able to get my stuff out of storage. I want to be able to have my clothes, my clothes, my sneakers, my Dick Gregory paintings, my art, everything, my sneakers. I want my clothes. That's what I want. I want my clothes. I want my freedom again. I want to be able to take my mother to the best eye doctor possible. They say Cuba has good eye doctors and Italy has a good eye doctor. I need to get my mother to an eye doctor to figure out my mom's sight. I don't want her to lose her sight, all because this party is holding me back. And this is, and all that see in the mainstream media, and all y'all keep putting this propaganda out here when it's real life people going through something like myself. You said I was ranting. That Lisa Yin lady said I was ranting in the Chicago Tribune, ranting because I'm homeless and I built a Chicago built a whole Republican machine to go against this machine because I'm homeless, and you gonna say I'm ranting? You lucky I gave you that story. You lucky I gave you that story. You welcome. So yeah. Appreciate everybody. I'm trying to get to the Congressional Black Caucus. That is, I would like to raise $10,000 for that, so we can make sure everything is paid for that, September 23rd to the 28th. You know, appreciate that. But yeah. Like, at this point, we got to get into legislation. We have to register to vote. I'm asking everybody to register. And if you're in Chicago and state of Illinois, I'm asking you to register as a Republican. If you are a supporter of mine, I'm asking you to register as a Republican. If you're a supporter of Chicago Flips Red, I'm asking you to register as a Republican. If you can't register as a Republican, then register as independent, but get off the Democratic plantation. You got to. We have to send Chicago and the state of Illinois a clear message. Don't you ever do this again. Don't you ever do this again. This is an all hands on deck movement. All hands. This is America First movement. These people, I have literally, if it wasn't for the grace of God, if it wasn't for my ancestors and the fact that my mother made sure to take care of my mental health as a young child, I don't think I would have made it. And that's real. Damn, it's 11:30. So yes, the donations that I always have on our page, that goes to my Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. Like I say, I'm for people, I'm for profit. I will pay them taxes at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. And that's that. So thank you for the donations. It helps with everything that we do. I just got, Danielle needed some more clothes. We got her some more clothes. Okay. It helps me get Uber stuff. It helps pay for we got a space where I'm able to come and do this at. It helps get costs when it comes to just a lot of things, eating, food, making sure my hair is cut, able to run and go get a polo or a shirt if I got to dress up because all my stuff is in storage. I got a lot of polos because I used to be a dresser now. And that's it. And then it just helps with my business operations, the operation stuff until I really am able to get back on my Uncomfortable Truth and really build that brand too. It helps me with eventually getting a spot. I really pray that I have a spot soon, so I can really do what I need to do. I really can talk my stuff. I really can get the research down and really get it going and do what it needs to do. So hopefully our other children, our children, I do it for our children and our elders, man. Wear red. If you have something red, just wear it in solidarity. Just let them know. But I'm asking you to register as a Republican. I'm asking y'all to register as a Republican, please, 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 please. Register as a Chicago Fifth Red Republican. Register as a Chicago Fifth Red Independent. But please, understand what a lobbyist is. We need lobbyists in our communities. We need all of those things. That's what we need to continue to make sure that we get legislation. We need to band together and take our kids out of these schools. If these schools are not going to go with the curriculum that needs to be, we need to do a homeschooling network. We need to get these people together. We need to permanently shut down these schools until we get the proper people in there to get them back right. Until then, you can't. Our kids are our future. You understand? And they're trying to push a new world order that's just not going to happen here. So let President Trump do everything that he needs to go do. He's the commander in chief. Our military is solid, strong. There's no military better than our military. And what's better than our military to take on the genocide that's in our communities that need to be taken care of a long time ago. We need ICE here. We need everybody here. Operation Grey Lord 2.0. Donald Trump, President Trump, I said I was going to ride. I was riding with you until the wheels fall off. Okay? And I am. Let's do this, Commander in Chief. Let's do it. Thank you. Let's do it. I love you. You don't even understand, Donald Trump, because I know you hear me. And I know you hear our family. I know you hear our group. And thank you for being the only person that's answering us in a way that honestly no one else has done. And I appreciate you. And I'll take the daggers with you. I don't care. Like you said, you can cure cancer and they'll still hate you. You're absolutely right. Just like they hate what I'm doing. That to the point that they're keeping me homeless. I love y'all. Thank y'all. And all hands on deck. Thank y'all for rocking out for me for 3 hours. Boots on the ground. Love y'all.